rules, but you couldn't have a beard. So they actually changed the rules last year for Devin Williams. And now the Yankees are trying to push even more this year.
I saw the headline. Yankees alternate road jerseys?
Yeah.
Players react to a possible new uniform. Now, let it be known.
The story is that some of the star players went to the executives, upper management, and were like, yeah, we want to wear an alternate away jersey.
Now, if you're a fan of baseball and you're someone that follows, the history of jerseys in all sports, the Yankees are the only team that has stuck to traditional pinstripes, road grays, nothing else at all, except one time when they did the Field of Dreams game and they had some like piping on their jersey. Besides that, the Yankees never had a City Connect. In fact, there's only two teams that don't have a City Connect jersey. One team with no real city, the A's, because they're cityless, and the Yankees. And this, tradition thing again, I think it gets in their way. The Cubs, the Red Sox,
Rich, what is
the Reds.
I credit you. I know you probably got it from one of your favorite shows, This Is Us or How I Met Your Mother, but sometimes tradition is making the same mistake over and over again, right? Like sometimes you got to shake it up or shake it off.
Who'd you get that from? Who'd you get that from? Scott Farrell?
Yeah.
Shake it up. Sometimes you got to listen here, Fox Sports Radio. Sometimes you just got to shake it. Ooh, shake it. Oh.
Sometimes you got to shake it up and realize that it's 2026 and you got to mix things up and I don't know,
and
step into a new culture.
They're not even trying to do anything crazy. The suggestion would be the Yankees, who, as you know, the pinstripes at home, that gray road jersey that just says New York.
It's a drab, boring away jersey, but again, it's
tradition.
It's tradition.
Well, it's been around since Babe Ruth.
It's been around for a long time, but they've slightly changed it. They were the Highlanders. Their old Yankee pinstripe, they were like a creamy yellow sort of color, right? So it's not like it was always exactly the same, but the pinstripes is what they're known for. Now, let's make this very clear. The story is the pinstripes stay. When they play at home, they're like, we're not trying to change that tradition. The pinstripes are classic. That's what we wear. Their request is to wear a variation, a different away jersey, and alternate it every once in a while. And there's speculation that the alternate jersey might be their practice jersey, that navy blue, just reversing the colors of the gray and blue.
That's like such a baby step, right? Giancarlo, Big G, said, yeah, I'd be a fan. I promise you the world wouldn't spin off its axis if this happened. He goes, a lot of people on the team would definitely be okay with this and want it for sure. There's a lot of tradition here. The most iconic jersey in sports, but that doesn't mean that every once in a while you can't change it up on the road.
Hold on, though. The most iconic jersey in sports is not the away jersey. I'm sorry. It's the pinstripes. And there's so many people crying about it in the world of sports media. Even Michael Kay is like, come on. All these boneheads complaining about it. I got to ask you why. Because their question is, why? Well, why are you mad about it? I want to know why. They're on the team. Why are you mad?
Before we go to Isaac for an update, let me just read two quick quotes. It's always in our locker. We just look at it. We never wear them. Why not? Referring to those navy blue practice jerseys. And then your boy Aaron Judge went on to even back it up. And when Judge is involved, that means
he's the Capitan.
He's the captain. Aaron Judge said, listen, this is the best quote. He said, I think we'll always rock the pinstripes at home.
No doubt.
I don't think that'll change. But he goes, we do have a patch on our jersey.
Star Insurance.
When you have an insurance patch on your jersey,
so it's okay to change it up when it's a money grab, right? Yeah. My compromise is they're still going to wear the away grays. You wear them against AL teams away. And then when you play NL teams away, wear the alternate ones, which is going to be their practice jerseys. That's what they're saying right now. The blue and gray. I don't see how this is an issue, yet there's so many crybaby fans about this, and more like crybaby radio hosts. I can't believe there's other New York radio hosts that have a problem with this. It's like, dude, get a life.
People like to bitch and complain about anything.
To me, it's ridiculous.
I've always said that you could say what you would think is the hey, you know what? Hey guys, who likes pizza and sex? And there'll be one person that's like, well, I'm pretty asexual and I'm also lactose. There's always
sucks to be you.
There's always one person. So I know what you're
sex
saying.
Is a little overrated. I don't know.
Pizza? Oh, I don't know. I got a tummy ache. There's always one.
Got a company live on Fox Sports Radio. She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer in for Stu. We're also the company. Isaac Lowenkron, Bo Benson, Iowa Sam hanging out as well. Stu Gatz and company were in for Colin Cowherd today on The Herd on Fox Sports Radio. So if you missed it, you can catch them there. I want to let you know if you missed any of today's show, and by that I mean the first 20 minutes of our show.
Yes.
Just search Stugatz and Company Live wherever you get your podcast. Please follow the podcast, rated 5 stars. Provide a review. You'll find out why Monty's laughing in a second. Again, just search Stugatz and Company Live wherever you get your podcast, and you'll find today's full show and a best-of version posted right after the end of the show. And also, check out our original podcast, Stugatz and Company Live, God Bless Football, and with Stugatz and Hockman. So we are live streaming.
Yes.
I
We
don't
were
think
a
it
little,
was-
a little late
it
for a
wasn't.
second. For a second.
So my whole bit about the Seahawks and ownership and the backdrop, none of that got on the stream.
I don't think so. Maybe not. Maybe
But
not.
we were able to get a graphic of me owning the Seahawks,
There you
at
go.
least in that time.
Look at that. Look at that moment.
There I am with the team as we won. Everybody's gathered around me. I have a pullover that is somewhat like that of the Seahawks.
Okay.
It doesn't have a neon green collar, but I will find the picture. It's me and Duff McKagan, band member of Guns N' Roses, was in studio when the Seahawks were opening the season after they won their first Super Bowl.
Okay.
He came in with J Moore Sports. He's a Seahawks fan. He's from Seattle. I'm a Seahawks fan. So I have a picture that I will show you with a similar polo, and not a polo, a half zip, quarter zip, that is in the picture that Spot has put on the live stream that you can see right now on YouTube.
You're just so happy owning your team. Must be nice. I don't think I'll ever be able to own the Clippers because I have to outbid Steve Ballmer. And I just don't think that's going to happen.
Probably not. Yeah, they're probably not going to be
not.
up for sale. You missed your opportunity.
I really did.
But as owner of the Seahawks, that would have been a Monday night game because, again, I am going back to the old uniforms and having the current uniforms be our throwbacks.
Yeah.
Right?
Which makes sense. I
Yes,
like that.
it
I like
does.
that. It would attract attention immediately if you went back to that. It would bring the eyeballs.
Speaking of bringing the eyeballs, the NBA ratings have been great for the first round of the playoffs. I think there's a reason for that. Major League Baseball's ratings are also going up and up and up. Monse has a theory why. We'll hear it after Isaac Lowenkron finishes a slice of pizza and then gives us the latest of what's happening on this Friday. What is going on, Isaac?
Well, indeed, that's our top story. Future Seattle Seahawks owner Dan Beyer has demonstrated his financial resources as well as his commitment to charitable causes by procuring 3 enormous pizzas for his coworkers at Fox Sports
I will
Radio.
say this, and I know that you weren't in the last couple of days, but you were in Monday and Tuesday. Sorry, Chris Perfetta was in for you, but we've had a really good week. We've been in for Stugatz and Company. We're in on Monday. We're in today. We've been in for Covino and Rich all week long. And so it was a great way to kind of celebrate the end of the week to go into the weekend. That's why it's here.
And Roger, just an additional reason why Dan is deserving to be the next Seahawks owner. Not only does he spring for pizza, but he's thoughtful enough to include ranch dressing containers, which you typically don't associate with pizza, but, oh man, does it hit the spot.
You don't associate
Roger?
ranch with pizza? What are you talking
Not
about?
typically,
Oh, okay.
but it takes a sophisticated culinary mind to be thoughtful enough to order your ranch dressing along with the pizza.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
So Roger, we're telling you, don't worry about the money. Don't worry about the money. Dan should be the next owner of the Seahawks. Elsewhere in the NFL, New York Jets running back Breece Hall has agreed to a 3-year, $45 million extension. Hall tweeting moments ago, quote, "Cried for the first time since I tore my ACL. This day really hit different for me, man."
Did he
Unquote.
Did he cry because he's still a Jet?
That's what I was wondering. That's what I was wondering. Really unclear if there were tears of joy. The NFL Referees Association today reached a new 7-year collective bargaining agreement through 2032. The Broncos signed general manager George Payton to a new 5-year contract through 2030. The NFL announced the 2026 schedule will be released next Thursday, May the 14th. The Green Bay Packers released veteran place kicker Brandon McManus. In college hoops, Iowa finalizing a new 6-year contract with head coach Ben McCollum. Coming up tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, it's Game 3 of the NBA's Eastern Conference semifinals from Philadelphia, with the New York Knicks leading the Sixers 2-0. Now back to...
Dan Beyer, don't pretend like you don't hear me.
I thought you were going around the room. That was
Thanks.
That was your pre-show video.
That was my pre-show video.
Never know what Monty's going to do video-wise, and so there were all of us hanging out here, and that's where I thought you were going around.
You thought I would start with Iowa Sam because we're twinning?
Yes, you are. You are twinning today.
Yeah.
Actually, that was the grand finale.
That was the grand
Sam
finale.
added some pizzazz to
You
it.
sure did.
You can't spell pizzazz without pizza.
That's true.
And so we're loading up here today.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Major League Baseball is loading up on viewers, and Monse has a theory on why that is the case. Just to let you know, the league is averaging 2.28 million viewers per game across their broadcast partners of ESPN, Fox, NBC, and Netflix. That's through the first weekend. That's up 44% from a year ago, and also the best mark that they've had in almost a decade. You have a theory on why, and it has nothing to do on where the games actually are broadcast.
No, I don't think so. That may be a factor, but I don't think that's the main factor. You can say gambling may be a part of it, shortening the game. All of that may be factors to it. But I just think that baseball tried for years to push Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, and they just were not people that were bringing eyeballs to the game the way that Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani do. And I know there's a lot of people that hate that Shohei Ohtani went and joined the super team that is the Dodgers. I get all that. But baseball must love it because now they can have a graphic with Aaron Judge representing the American League and Shohei Ohtani representing the National League. And I feel like those two guys are huge factors as to why baseball is so popular. You may not be a Dodger or a Yankee fan, but just if you're interested in those guys and then you have your own personal team, whether it be the Pirates because of Paul Skeens, another face that I think is very well liked in baseball, fandoms, even if you're not a Pirates fan, Paul Skeens putting his face, putting his mark in the game. Those I think are 3 stars that people really like, want to follow, want to pay attention, want to see how they do, their teams do, even if you're not fans of those teams. I feel like that's what it is. I think Bryce Harper was just not the guy.
I think that there's something to that because there was a point in the NFL when the league was just carried by Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, all these quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was kind of the next wave, but the next wave didn't pan out like we thought it would. And the next wave was the Andrew Luck, the Russell Wilsons, the Cam Newtons, that they didn't carry the torch like the other quarterbacks did. Now, you look at where the league is, it's Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Like these are the quarterbacks that are now carrying the National Football League, and you missed kind of not a generation, but there were the handing of the torch, I think, skipped kind of a portion of your draft class. And I think it's similar to baseball. But what I would say to the Mike Trout, Bryce Harper deal, specifically with Trout, the popular nature of Ohtani and Judge allows Trout to kind of backdoor popularity because I think Mike Trout is a little bit more popular this season, maybe for the reasons of Mike Trout's playing great again and the Angels stink. But I do think that when Judge and Ohtani lift the game up, that Trout has gotten a little more pub. And it's kind of weird because I don't think people gravitated to him as the main guy or as the main character, to your point of Bryce Harper. And now you have these other – I don't know if Paul Skeens is organic. All I know is that he has to pitch well.
Oh, yeah,
like, if he wasn't playing well, he wouldn't be as much of a story. It wouldn't be about him dating Livy Dunn and all of that. Like, he has been on top of his game. So I think that there's a lot of different reasons, but I even think that Mike Trout has gotten a little boost not having to lead Major League Baseball. And that's okay. Like, there certain roles are designed for certain people, and I think Judge and Ohtani have kind of that role.
I just find it so interesting because with Mike Trout was the best baseball player for years, right? Like, everyone just agreed. He's the best, but there was no discussion. How we have maybe today, who's the best player? I don't know. Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani. It's like a discussion. For years, Mike Trout was just the best player. And Mike Trout's demeanor, his attitude, it's all very calm, cool, and collected. Very similar to Aaron Judge, to Shohei Ohtani. So those traits were always there. But could it have been because he was an Angel and it just couldn't hit? And then you had a polarizing player like Bryce Harper, and it just never worked. And so you have these two guys who I don't think are polarizing, Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. They are very, again, like, very. You don't hear anything about them. I know there was a scandal with Shohei Ohtani with the gambling and his interpreter, but they don't say much. They don't go out and you're never going to hear a soundbite that they said this and people are going to dissect it. And yet everybody loves them. So it's just, to me, like, I feel like it failed with trying to maybe have Mike Trout and the Bryce Harper to be the faces of baseball.
It's honestly, I think it's difficult to take over from an era that had Derek Jeter.
Sure.
And players of that caliber. I mean, A-Rod is popular again, but there were enormous names in baseball at that time, and to be able to try to carry that over wasn't feasible, I guess you could say, or it's just a hard carry. But it's interesting that Ohtani, and it has something to do with what's across your chest. Because I mean, Ohtani wore the same jersey that Trout did and didn't have the same effect, and now you're winning titles, and Ohtani's doing what he's doing. Is there a close third of a player in Major League Baseball? Like, if you were to say who is the third most popular player, if I threw that out to you, Bo Benson, would you have an idea on who you think is the third most popular player? I do. So not to put you guys on the spot, I could tell you who I think.
Okay.
I think it's Juan Soto.
I was thinking Juan Soto, but I was like, but Juan Soto is perfect because it's like people. I don't know if people like Juan Soto. And he may be a star, but I don't know if people like Juan Soto.
Yeah, I would say for me it's a tie between two guys. Fernando Tatis Jr., but the steroids have completely derailed his career entirely. And then Ronald Acuna Jr. with the Braves. I would say he's up
available.
There. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't play
Yeah.
enough, but if he was still playing, I think he would be close to the Ohtani Judge tier.
I think it helps to have a cool name like PCA, like if you're Pete Crow.
Sure.
Not saying that he's third. Ellie De La Cruz is popular, but I don't think he would rise to the level of third. Paul Skeens is popular, but I don't know if he rises to the it's tough.
He's rising.
It's tough as a pitcher.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tougher as a pitcher. So I think that those are things that end up playing in. But as I look and I gather and you look at everybody, Roman Anthony not yet for Boston. That could change, but I do think it's Juan Soto. I think that he is number 3 right now, but doesn't carry the load that Judge and Ohtani do as being popular. It also helps that NBC is carrying the games.
Yes.
So now you have 2 national networks carrying
that
it.
care.
Yes.
That don't just dismiss it and put it on their broadcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Netflix maybe a bit more of a boost than what Apple was doing for their broadcast, so I think that helps as much. But I do think that people are just enjoying baseball more, and they're enjoying it more in their markets. And when you have competitive teams, the NL Central right now, everybody's above 500, so everybody's going to be carrying. Even if you're in last place, you still feel that you're kind of in it at that point, and that's good. But I think the broadcast of it, and to your point of now you have these mega stars on both coasts on the 2 biggest teams in the sport, really does help.
Yeah, it's and I don't think it's gonna stop. I think baseball's gonna keep going up. Like I don't think we've seen its peak right now. The way it's
going. I think it'll continue to rise.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering if after the end of the season, the work stoppage, and then which is very likely to happen.
Very likely, but man, they're going to try to not have a stoppage with how much success they have. Why would you want to lose momentum?
Yeah. What year is it? Isaac, does she sound like 1994 all over again? Sorry, he's eating pizza.
He's eating pizza. But he's nodding yes. He says.
Was just going to say, Tony Gwynn bidding to hit 400. The Montreal Expos in first place. It reminds me a lot of the popularity of 94.
Yes, you sound exactly like 1994.
Well,
coming up next, Nirvana here on Fox Sports Radio. She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer. Isaac Lowenkron, Bo Benson, Iowa Sam, hanging out on a Friday as we are in for Stu Gatz and Company live here on Fox Sports Radio. Coming up next, speaking of New York, they may have another Philly takeover, and Philly is doing all they can to try to stop it from happening. We'll explain the lengths and the depths that Philadelphia has gone to prevent this Knick takeover next here on Fox Sports Radio.
Wemby makes a sick play, and then his dad is there, like, not giving a diddly squat about it.
Did you see the block, Rich?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. But I just
Okay.
didn't see it on. I didn't have commentary on.
No. So, yeah, but the fun story is, like, much like the Hulk Hogan generation of parents, like his parents, it's funny because Rich pointed this out earlier today on our Patreon. That whole generation really seek their father's approval. There's so many dudes that we looked up to, and what really drove them was seeking their father's approval because, like, Hulk Hogan's dad never told him he loved him.
How many sports documentaries have you watched about?
So many.
About, again, essentially it's boomers, right? It's the boomer generation, guys that are 60, 70-something years old, where their dads, which are like the World War II greatest generation, old-timey time guys, that generation apparently never told their sons they loved them or they're proud of them. Because I've seen one too many documentaries about some superstar baseball player, football player, wrestler, where it's like, all I wanted was my dad to love me.
You know, it does feel good, though, because yesterday after the show, not that I had anything to do with it, but my dad did say, hey, Elliot, that big poppy, that was funny, man. That was funny. So getting a compliment from, like, any old school dad is like, whoa.
Didn't he follow it up with, really, Dad, you mean it?
I was like, really? Do you love me, Dad?
Do you really love me?
And, you know, it just made me think of that because it's always such a common theme. And last night, Wembanyama makes this sick play, and Dad is sitting there with his arms folded, mean mugging, not caring at all.
Yeah.
Not that he's not proud of his dad, but some old school dads are just so emotionless. It's hilarious.
Isn't it pretty funny how we now, in turn,
we
overcorrect,
overcorrect.
we love our kids? Like, we
Yeah.
totally, like, Danny G, how often are you, like, kissing and hugging and, like, telling your kid how much you love them and how great they are?
Dude, 20 times a day.
Yeah, like, you probably have kissed Koa and given him more love than, like, our dad's generation their whole life.
What are you talking about? More than, yeah, you're right.
You think Hulk Hogan, you forget he's Italian, Terry Bollea, right? So his dad's this old school Italian dude, short
Yeah,
Italian
construction worker.
construction blue-collar guy. His dad really never, tells him he loves him. He's sort of disappointed in the Hulkster because he wanted Hulk Hogan to go to college, and Hulk Hogan was, playing in a rock band. He became a wrestler. It doesn't happen until Hulk Hogan sells out Madison Square Garden and performs at the Garden his first time and wins the belt. Until his dad finally says, like, hey, you did a good job. Hey, come in and give me a hug. Oh, that's the first time he showed any affection.
First time his dad understood that he was a big success.
Isn't that wild that Hulk Hogan, he's in Stallone movies.
Yeah.
He's selling at the Garden. His dad was finally like, not too bad, kid. Not too bad, kid.
Hey, oh, come here. And last night, like I said, we saw that with Wembanyama's dad.
But
Well,
again,
I'm sure Wemby's dad is super proud, and maybe they just caught a moment.
Of course.
But it did go viral where everyone else was like, whoa! Dad did not look impressed.
No, but I'm saying nowadays, what do they say? The juxtaposition, the difference. Now you see a guy get his first major league at bat, or you see like Carlos Mendoza, wrong Mendoza, that's the weak ass one. Fernando Mendoza. You see his beautiful family get all emotional, like we
see dads crying in the stands.
in the sports
most
world.
of the time.
In the sports world, I guess to tie up this conversation, we went from a generation begging for their dad to be like, "I'm proud of you, son."
You're right.
What did you say, Dad? To dad's weeping in the stands.
It seems like every success story that we got to witness was all motivated by a dad who didn't love their son enough. Because every documentary we watch about our heroes, I was like, "Oh, Dad never told me he loved me." That's what motivated.
I mean, I could be making some of these up, but I feel like everyone from Hulk Hogan to Nolan Ryan to any old school dude documentaries,
it
all
comes back.
My
to
dad was a tough guy and never really showed his emotions. Like that was a stoic generation, right?
Lamar Odom recently, right? Like his dad wasn't there, had this chip on his shoulder. His dad only showed up when he thought he died and he wanted to cash in.
Yep.
That was the only time his dad showed up. So he always fought for that approval. It's like every documentary we see. So anyway, the theme continues. And that being said, hug your dad.
Hey,
be a good dad.
Hug your dad, give him a call, and just a reminder that
And enjoy the Hulk Hogan thing. It's really
the
great.
Hulk documentary is great.
There was a story that Draymond Green said this could very well be the end of LeBron. He could retire right now. And
Yeah, but wouldn't people say he would very well set up a farewell tour?
that's the flip side of it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
There was a report last week, though, that someone close to LeBron said he's not interested in a tour.
Yeah, like maybe we got it all wrong. Like maybe he wants.
Stugotz and Company live on Fox Sports Radio. I'm Dan Beyer. She's Monse Bolaños.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. For over 40 years, Tire has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. And now it's time for our Tire Rack play of the day.
Wing right Holmgren, jab steps on H, holds, cranks a three, that's online, looks good, it is! He splashes it, Cha-ching a Thunder Moneyball. Chet the All-Star knocks down his third three tonight.
I do love Cha-ching Moneyball when it comes to WWLS Thunder Radio Network. Every time. Cha-ching Moneyball. Love that. Okay?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't have my mic on at that point. 2-0 lead for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Their fans and their T-shirts never fails.
Never fails.
When I've been fortunate enough to cover, I counted it this year, 19 Super Bowls in my time here at Fox Sports Radio.
You've been to 19 Super Bowls?
And so very, very fortunate. Now, the reason I bring it up is not to say that. It's that there are certain matchups that stand out more than other for certain reasons. When you have a Super Bowl crowd, Monse, there are more fans of the teams than you would expect. People say it's a very corporate crowd. True, there is a lot of corporate play at stake. But there are fan bases that do travel, and you know it. So this past Super Bowl that we had, obviously, the Seahawks had an easier time traveling.
Mm-hmm.
I also think just of the drought that they had for 10 years, it was a pro-Seahawks crowd in Santa Clara for Super Bowl 60. When Super Bowl 45 hit between the Packers and Steelers, I wondered,
what's it going to look like?
Who's going to have the edge? I
Yeah.
mean, these are two storied franchises with national fan bases everywhere. It's not just people from Pittsburgh and Green Bay. Fan bases everywhere on who would have the edge. And this may have unofficial feeling, but I left from there. It may have been because of the terrible towels, that visual of it. It felt that there were just slightly more Steelers fans, just that edge. But still, great representation by the Packer fans and Steeler fans. When you have to give away tickets to prevent the opposing team from taking over your arena in the postseason, that eliminates you from any great fan base discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And by that note, Philadelphia has been eliminated because they are giving away tickets to youth groups to prevent them from ending up in the hands of the New York Knicks in their playoff series that now shifts to the city of brotherly love. You are eliminated. You can complain all you want. You can cuss at the players all you want. You can boo injured players, whatever you want to do. When you have to give away tickets to keep them out of their hands after your star player says, you know what? We need you guys to be there. We can't have that New York takeover. And it happens again. Philly out of the equation.
Yeah. He literally said it was Madison Square East the last time in Philly. So Joel Embiid, that's who said that. You guys, they claim like and I thought they were, though, not just claim. I thought Philly had a great fan base. And I'm not against this idea of let's give the tickets to our fans. I'm not against that idea. But there is this perception portrayed by those Philly fans that they're the ones, that they're going to be there. The way we see fans outside of Madison Square Garden, or the way you see fans outside of, I don't know where Toronto plays, the name of their...
Yeah, I think Air Canada Center.
That sounds about right. Whenever the Raptors are playing an important game, that place outside is packed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have a great fan base as well. And so I always was under the impression that Philly fans, the way that they speak, I thought they were like that. Oh, I was wrong. It's all a front. You're actually not that great of fans.
I thought that they were ride or die, but I think they just kick their teams when they die. Like, let's just pile on Jalen Hurts. Let's pile on everybody of the Philadelphia Eagles when they lose. Pile on Joel Embiid.
Yep.
When they lose, we don't necessarily care. It's when you read it and you read the article and you hear this being read, 250 frontline medical personnel from the Children's Hospital will get tickets. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That shouldn't need to happen. Like, it's great. Like, what you say is, we are honoring our doctors and frontline workers and emergency personnel and veterans by, we think of them so much they're going to game 3 and 4. We need to keep these tickets out of the hands of New York fans, and that's why we're actually giving them away. We don't necessarily care what you do in the big picture, just as long as they're not in the hands of a Knicks fan. Sorry, that just eliminates you. I mean, it does. I understand their backs are against the wall, but when you've been called out as a fan base for not showing up and you have an opportunity to redeem yourself, even if Joel Embiid's map skills aren't the greatest, because I don't know if it's Madison Square Garden East. I would say Madison Square Garden South if I were him. But the point is, Philadelphia, for as great of a sports town that we think it is, shouldn't need to be giving away tickets so the other team's fans don't come in their arena.
You said it perfectly, because if the story was that they were just giving these tickets because they're looking out for them, not because they're worried about themselves and who's going to be coming in through those doors, it would be different. But another side of it, tickets are too expensive. Tickets are really expensive. You know what I'm saying? Just to go to any sporting event. And I don't know what the tickets would be in Philadelphia, but things are really expensive. So it's almost like, Philadelphia, you should have just sold your tickets a lot cheaper to Philly fans and then just up the price to anybody wanting to come from New York.
I do.
Maybe that'll help.
I kind of felt like in a safe place, but I realized we do have Philly Sam here. Are we being fair to the Philadelphia fans by putting them on blast because of this move to try to avoid the Knicks fans from showing up?
Yes. I think you're being fair.
He agrees with us. All right.
I think you're being fair.
Philly Sam is now back to being Iowa Sam. It's absurd. For a playoff game, I would get if it was a regular season game, Monse, right? Like, all right, that's fine. We obviously know that the Knicks want to will show up because of the nature of this game. But that should also then mean that the Sixers fans have just as much excitement over it.
Especially after you beat Boston. Like,
right.
How are you not so stoked to go in and cheer for your team that just did something that they've been trying to do for the last couple of years?
She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer. Isaac, Bo, and Sam with us. Have you broken the unwritten rule of sports attire? Find out next.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best.
You were dating some girl, and you were like,
Hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense.
her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the fun.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I like point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. I take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during
can't.
a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
In the NFL, New York Jets running back Breece Hall has agreed to a 3-year, $45 million extension. The NFL and the NFL Referees Association have reached a new 7-year collective bargaining agreement through the 2032 campaign. The Denver Broncos signed general manager George Payton to a new 5-year contract through 2030. The NFL announced that the 2026 regular season schedule is going to be released next Thursday on the 14th of May. ESPN reported that the sale of the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks is drawing softer than expected interest. The Green Bay Packers released veteran place kicker Brandon McManus. And in college basketball, Iowa is finalizing a new 6-year contract with head coach Ben McCollum, who led the Hawkeyes to the Elite Eight in his first season on the job. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
Dressed in the nines on a Friday. No such thing as a casual Friday here on Fox Sports Radio. There's a reason for everything here. If you're watching us on the live stream on YouTube, you'll see Monte Bolaños wearing her Caitlin Clark jersey.
That's right.
As is Iowa Sam.
Yes. Thank you, Iowa Sam, for getting us these shirts.
Hey, my pleasure.
I just wear golf attire because I never know if I'm going to go and hit some golf balls after the show. Plus, it's my way of, it's kind of like a sports casual look where I feel it's business enough, but it's not super business.
I wish there was a golf attire for women. That's just kind of like can go in and out of the day. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm going to look nice. It's kind of like a little black dress, sort of.
Yes.
Sort of. But I think, yeah, golf attire,
Because if you
just do it.
If you wore then you wore like the skirt with it, it would maybe up it a notch
Correct.
a little bit.
Maybe a heel. Oh, instead of a
Right.
sneaker. Oh.
Bo Benson's rocking the backwards cap. Isaac Lowenkron looking as great as ever. The reason I bring up our attire today is for a couple of reasons. Monse said that she kind of – did you break a rule? Did you feel like you try to abide by the rules as much as possible?
As much as possible. The unwritten rules.
But your point is the Indiana Fever don't start their season until tomorrow, so
And-
you're wearing the jersey today, and you felt like you were in violation.
I was like, should I have worn this tomorrow? But, oh well, I wanted to wear it with Sam. But yes, I did think of that. Maybe I should have worn this tomorrow.
And I think that you are A-okay. I
Okay.
don't think that you or Sam have to worry about it.
Okay.
It's your final day of work. You wouldn't believe the amount of elementary schools in the football season that will have you wear the local team's jerseys the Friday before. If you're in high school football, right, you're wearing your jersey on Friday. If it's a Friday night game, or even if the game's on Saturday, you're wearing it that Friday. I have no problem with it. Even with you working tomorrow here with Martin Weiss at 8 o'clock Eastern Time on Fox Sports Radio, you didn't break any rules. She also didn't break any rules because she's wearing Nike shoes with a Nike T-shirt.
That's right.
Another unwritten rule to not double up the brands, and you're pretty conscious with this one.
You can't wear Nike, represent clearly Nike with Under Armour or with Adidas. You can't wear both. Like, if you can't see the logo, that's a different thing. But this is very clearly a Nike shirt. So I was like, okay, I have to make sure I wear some Nikes.
Yeah, so we're dissecting the rules of the unwritten rules when it comes to sports attire, when it comes to sports fashion. We all have our certain rules. There are some that may be just personal. There may be others that are wide-ranging. And to Monty's point, to add this, if I'm wearing golf attire, I want to match. If I have a Nike swoosh on my shirt, I want to make sure that the Nike swoosh isn't there with the Adidas shoes.
Correct.
With the 3 stripes. Now, I do have a pair of Adidas shoes that are just all white. You wouldn't know that they were Adidas.
Okay.
And
They
so,
can pass.
So I can get away with it because you don't know that they're the traditional Adidas. I think they're one of the few Adidas shoes without an actual 3 stripe. When you wear pants, that's the tricky part because there are a lot of different pant brands. You can get Travis Matthew, you can get Nike, whatever. But if you have Nike pants, it's not as noticeable as seeing that swoosh on your shirt.
Totally.
So I think that is okay if you wear with you. You don't need to be all Adidas from head to toe, hat,
Right.
shirt,
No.
belt, pants, shoes. You don't have to be all Nike head to toe. You're not on tour. There's no reason to do that. But there has to be a rhyme or reason. You can't just be willy-nilly with your outfits.
No, you really can't.
And when you do this with golf, there are other rules, Monty, because I had a dilemma today. Did you guys ever hear of the golf logo rule? Bo, Isaac, Iowa Sam?
Mm-mm.
It's because it's unwritten. It's really not talked about.
Okay.
There are a couple of rules. As you'll see, I'm wearing a shirt here. I'm going to try to move. It's got a shamrock on it. You don't need to zoom in, but there it is. You can see it. This represents Erin Hills Golf Course in Wisconsin, host of the 2017 U.S. Open. I've talked about playing Erin Hills a bunch. Had a good friend that worked there for well over a decade. So I've got a lot of Erin Hills stuff. This is a recognizable logo in the golf world. What I cannot do is wear another logo of a course on my hat. And you will see today I don't have a hat on.
You don't?
I wanted to. It's Friday. Again, I was going to go hit golf balls. I don't have an Erin Hills hat that matches this shirt. I have a white one with a black shamrock. This is a navy shirt. I couldn't wear it. Colors didn't match. But it would have been 100 times worse if I would have worn a Riviera Country Club hat with my Erin Hills shirt. You cannot combine it with 2 courses. And I'm using popular courses here.
Sure.
And if you've listened to the show, I played Riviera a couple of weeks ago for a media day event. I'm not claiming anything with Riviera other than I was lucky enough to play it. But you cannot double up on logos. You cannot do it unless you are a member of that club. Okay. So,
Okay, but why would you do
excuse me. You can wear. I take that back. You can't wear 2 different logos.
Yeah.
If you wanted to wear the same logo of your club, totally fine. But you can't wear two different logos, especially if you're not a member of either of the clubs. It is a faux pas. So sorry to confuse you there. You can't wear one course and then another course on your chest. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Yeah, it's like when you see someone wearing like a Ferrari hat, and you're like, do you own a Ferrari? Or do you just wear the hat? What is it? You don't own a Ferrari.
I agree with that.
Okay, cool.
Maybe you love cars. Maybe that's your dream car.
Yes.
But it's still very tough. The reason I say that is because if I wear a Riviera hat, people say, are you a member? And I am not.
And you don't want to say.
And if I was asked by a member of Riviera, are you a member? No. But I loved being there. And there are a lot of people who play golf and will collect it from all the different courses, but they do wear it as a badge of honor. But there is a different level of being a member than showing up on a media event or showing up during a work function and playing on a Monday and there is a balance to it. And a lot of people will try to collect as many shirts and hats they can from the different courses. And I get that. I completely understand it, but you can't mix and match. That's the number one faux pas.
Let me just make sure. Can I go to Riviera and wear a different logo from a different golf course? I can, but I can't do both.
Well,
it's an unwritten rule.
It said
Yeah.
other people, like if you took a picture and you said, oh, geez, Monty's wearing two different course logos. It's a little tricky. The only grace, the exception to the rule would be a Masters logo.
Sure.
Because
that's welcome everywhere.
Yeah.
You can wear that anywhere. It doesn't
it's kind
matter.
of like the free pass.
Sure.
You just wear it because everybody loves the Masters. It's not an Augusta National Golf Club logo. That's different from the Master. I mean, it's the same logo, but there's a difference if it just says Masters versus Augusta National Golf Club, which is very exclusive. Because the Masters gear, they sell millions upon millions of dollars during the week. But that's just an unwritten rule of golf. Don't wear two different course logos, club logos at the same time.
All right. It's like going another one here. Bo's going to know this one. If you go to Disneyland, you can't wear like a Universal Studios shirt. Or if you go to Universal Studios, you can't wear like a Disney shirt because you're confused. You're at the wrong park. They lied to you.
So you wouldn't be able to wear like a Jurassic Park to Disneyland.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Doesn't that show your love of parks?
That just shows that I know where I'm going to celebrate the day. That's all. I remember like being at Disneyland and I think my mom was wearing, I don't know, an E.T. shirt, if I remember correctly. And like the cast members like pointed that out. And I was like, Mom, you are wearing a Universal shirt. What are you doing? Did you go buy her like a no,
Disney?
Actually, maybe we did. Actually, this was so long ago, but I'll never forget that they like called her out on it. And I was like, oh, well, it's all right.
I think that applies if you're a local. If you're a tourist, I don't really have an issue with it if you're from out of town visiting. Maybe your shirt got torn.
That's a good point because if let's just say you're on spring break, you come to Southern California and you're like, we're going to do Universal one day, we're going to do Disney the next. So you probably loaded up on your Universal stuff.
Sure.
And you want to wear it, but you're going to Disney the next day and you're like, well, this is what we're here for. You
guys are making me feel bad as a Universal tour guide.
Yeah,
I used to call out these guests all the time.
If you live in California and mix and match, then yeah, you don't deserve the privilege of being at Disneyland or Universal Studios. But if you're from out of town, I think you can let it slide.
Bo, you were telling us you felt not subconscious, but when you went to Disney, you made a conscious effort to wear something.
I'm known to wear different stuff. Like I have a Derrick Rose jersey in my closet that's being waiting to be taken out and worn. But one thing I will not do is try to mix and match teams. I feel like that's gross. Like I won't wear an Eagles jersey and a Dodgers hat, or like a Dodgers jersey and an Eagles hat or something. I just feel like that's really off.
Because I think like the Dodgers hat is not as popular as the Yankees cap, but it is in a way turned into fashion.
Yeah, it's just a
bit.
hat.
I wouldn't have thought that you are repping Dodgers and Eagles. It wouldn't have dawned on me. I would have just thought, oh, he's an Eagles fan from L.A. Like, that's what I would have thought. So it's interesting that you were thinking of it just from the baseball terms. Iowa Sam?
I was just thinking of another topic that gets controversial. It's kind of a timeless discussion, but going to a concert and wearing the band of the concert you're attending. See, I think it's totally fine. But then there's a movie called PCU, Politically Correct University, from the 90s where I believe it's Jon Favreau and another actor. I'm blanking on his name, but he's like, "Hey, don't be that guy. You never wear the band tee to the concert."
So you couldn't wear.
I think it's okay.
You couldn't wear. I'm just going to date myself. You couldn't wear a Rolling Stones 2025 tour shirt, or I should say, like a 2002 tour shirt to a 2025-2026 concert.
I guess that's a faux pas.
What?
I don't get it. I went to a Darkness concert and I wore my Darkness T-shirt I've had for 20 years.
That's kind of like wearing your home jersey,
Right.
like you're wearing a
I know.
throwback
It's like,
jersey.
it's not my first time.
I understand, like the bass player doesn't want to wear, a shirt of his own band.
Sure.
Right? Like I understand that, just like an athlete wouldn't wear his own jersey. But I would think that it would actually be a sign of support when we're talking about
I'm
going to a show.
absolutely wearing. If I have a shirt of the concert I'm going to go watch, I'm absolutely wearing that shirt.
It was Jeremy Piven's character in PCU telling Jon Favreau's character, "Don't be that guy. Don't wear that to the concert."
That's stupid. I'll be that guy.
But apparently people believe that and sign off with it, and I'm like, why? I don't get it.
I think it would be more apropos to wear it to their show, to be like,
Right.
listen, this is not my first rodeo with this band. I was there in 1998. Now the T-shirt's a little bit worn, but this is how long I've rocked with the show.
Yeah, no,
With
that's
the-
weird.
with the
I've
band.
never heard that. That sounds ridiculous.
The point that I was confusing on, and I don't know why I'm confused. It's my own thoughts. But when you double up the same golf logo,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you have to be a member. So if you're a member at a club and you wear the hat and the shirt, that's totally fine. But if I were to, I'm not a member at Riviera, I'll just use them as an example. If I wore a Riviera hat and a Riviera shirt, that's a little too much Riviera. Like that's a little too much when I'm not a member and I'm not, like I was there
Sure.
once. I was there for 6 hours for a day. That's a little too much. That feels like it's claiming too much. So that was
Okay.
the doubling up that I wanted to bring out. But if you're a member of that club, absolutely feel free to wear the hat, wear the shirt, wear the belt with the logo on it. That's what you're doing. But when you're claiming, especially with a lot of top golf courses that are private, there are a few top golf courses in America that are public. Pebble Beach is one of them. So that doesn't mean as much. But when it gets to the private courses, you kind of can't claim something that you're not. And so if you get a hat or you get a shirt or you get two items, you just can't wear them on the same time if you're not a member.
Now, you can't. Is someone going to say something to you? Like, is somebody going to ask you, "Oh, did you suddenly join our golf club?"
It's unwritten.
But will you get asked? Would I get asked if I walked in?
No, but it's known. I know it. I may not know that you know it, but that person that knows it knows it.
Okay.
And if I was a member of the club and I saw someone wearing the double logos,
and you know they're
now,
not.
I do belong to a golf club, but it's not the prestigious, of a Riviera, of a top level course. But if I was a member and saw someone wearing the two logos, I would probably approach them and be like, "Oh, are
you
a member?
When
And
did you
then-
join?
Yes, in that way to almost strike up conversation, and then I think that would maybe make the person maybe awkward. I don't know if you would do it for dirty pool wise. I think it would be, "Oh, you're a member here." I wore a hat to a club. I wore a LA Country Club hat when I was back in Wisconsin once with a plain Navy shirt because it played at U.S. Open. It was out there a couple of years ago, and I had the hat and I was walking into a locker room and just a random guy was like, "Oh, nice hat." So there's a group of people who love these logos. Just like Bo and I, we talk about NFL logos, and Bo will load up on the new hats of new logos or throwback logos. There's a love for that, but you can't overdo it. Like if Bo gets, I wore an Oilers throwback. If Bo gets an Oilers throwback, he can't wear a Warren Moon jersey with it, right? Right? Like you wouldn't double it up so much that you're Mr. Houston Oiler. You would kind of show a little bit of restraint. Is that fair, Bo? Is that in terms of doubling up when we're talking about a normal day sport? Unless you're going to like a Titans game, maybe a different story there.
Sure.
But I mean, you're not a fan of either. I don't know if you would wear.
Yeah, no, not just day to day, but like if you're going to a game, I think it's fine.
Different story.
But yeah, like day to day, that'd be weird.
Agreed.
Yeah. Bo's over here worried about wearing LA with Eagles stuff, and I'm just going to say this for someone needs to hear it. You cannot wear Dodger stuff with anything from San Francisco. Nothing from San Francisco.
Can't do it.
You could be a Niners fan and be a Dodgers fan, but don't wear them together.
No, you can't. You talking about sports or like, hey, I went to Fisherman's Wharf.
No, sports.
Okay.
What about if the sweatshirt says Sausalito? That's a joke. But because there are sweatshirts.
No. You can't, sports-wise, you can't wear Dodgers and then something San Francisco.
You mean the Sausalito sweatshirt with a nice old boat or a dock in the background?
You know
Northern California?
No, you can't do that one either.
I didn't think so.
I've decided, no.
It's the split of North and South,
yes,
right?
Yes, and specifically Dodgers. I didn't say Angels. You go ahead. You want to wear Angels and you want to wear, go ahead, live your best life.
Yeah, I actually don't think you can be a Dodgers and 49ers fan.
But
I judge you.
They
I know,
exist.
but I judge them.
Exist.
Which, like, for me to judge someone else for that's bad. I judge them. I judge them hard. Go away. Just go be a Giants fan like you want to, but you can't be a Dodgers 49ers fan. I'm sorry.
I think that's fair. I think it's very fair. It's a good point by you. Lots of unwritten rules. D. Gassert tweets in, amen, brand match necessary, to the point about Nike and Adidas and whatnot.
Absolutely. You got to just think about it. Somebody's going to call you out on it. I'm going to be like, man, I should have, you're right. I should have made the better decision this morning.
And Tada Toothy tweets in, Monty looks great in her Iowa Hawkeye jersey.
Thank you.
Just a sec. I want to scroll.
And I look like crap.
I wanted to see what they said about my polo, Sam. Just a second. I'm scrolling here. Nope, nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. Nothing.
Nope.
Nothing.
No.
There's
There's
nope.
nobody?
There's a
Dan,
dog.
you look great in your polo.
There's a dog emoji. Mina Kreider wants them to know if we talked about the Pistons. Nope.
Nope.
Nope. No, referees, Lakers.
Nope.
Nothing about my polo. Nope, nothing at all. But hey, Monse,
nope,
looking great in the
Thanks.
Caitlin Clark jersey.
Thanks.
Speaking of Caitlin Clark, her WNBA season tips off tomorrow night. To preview that, what's expected in this now third season for the Indiana Fever superstar, and what's expected in a new look WNBA, we'll talk with someone who covers the Fever. Scott Agnes joins us next. She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer, in for Stu Gatz and Company live here on Fox Sports Radio. My biggest takeaway is what happened in the locker room last night, where LeBron James ended up speaking on why the Lakers may have lost Game 1 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Here is the Lakers star.
Where do you think the offensive issues are coming from right now? Obviously, that's a great defense.
Issues coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a guy that averaged 37 a game. What did he average, 35 this year? 33. 33 and a half?
Yeah.
I mean, what are you asking?
Okay, well, I'm asking, like you guys.
There's the issues right there. We're playing against the number one defensive team in the NBA, as far as the ratings and everything. And when you play against great defense, you have to have guys that can attract multiple defenders on the floor at all time. Even I felt like we had great shots. We got some great shots tonight. We missed them. But when you play against the world champions, having a guy that averages 34, 6 and 8 and 8 and 9, whatever the hell, that's special. So we have to be better at finding ways to get to the blender, finding ways to get to the paint. We know they're a paint swarming team, so we have to be better with get into the paint, not turn the ball over, and then shooting with confidence. But I feel like we got some really good looks.
When I went out to eat for an anniversary dinner last Wednesday, I didn't get a loaded baked potato. I get some cheese, get some bacon. I'm not a sour cream fan. That soundbite had sour cream, it had chives, it had butter, it had cheddar cheese, it had bacon. It had the full 9 yards, Monse Bolaños, because LeBron James was telling you everything that he wanted you to hear without actually saying it. He's throwing Luka Doncic under the bus. He then wants you to go and look at the box score and say, LeBron, you were 12 of 17. You had 27 points tonight. Could you do it by yourself? Well, apparently not, because Austin Reeves threw up a stinker last night. There was so much involved in that soundbite. He threw everything at you without saying anything.
Without saying anything. And told me, he mansplained everything to me, is what he did. I just was like, we know all of this, LeBron. And it was almost like he should have just been like, yeah, don't we all miss Luka? But then it wasn't just that. It was making sure, like you pointed out, we knew what he did. And he made sure we also knew that nobody else helped him along the way. That he didn't have his star, but he did what he could and was alone by himself trying to be the best team in the NBA. That's what he told us. And it's just kind of like, we knew that you not having Luka was huge. We knew you were going to lose to the Lakers. But sometimes it's like the question comes, how can you guys get going without, we know Luka's not coming. We know that. How can you get going without him? Well, it was honestly like he was mansplaining to me.
It's a great way to spin it, though. And I think that's what perked up with Jason Stewart's ears as well. Right away, you thought something was funky with the way that LeBron was talking.
So LeBron did his podcast with Steve Nash this past week, and I'm sure he told Steve to ask him, like, how do you do it at 41? Like, are you surprised that you're playing at this level? You know, in other words, he was more than happy to take all of the credit for the Lakers getting beyond that first round where they weren't supposed to do it, and he played well. But the second they lose, well, the other guy's not here. I just think it's a jerk move, right?
It is, especially when you hear Anthony Edwards, as we talked about yesterday, in a game where he wins, being asked how he felt, and he was disappointed with himself. When he came out and played in an unexpected game and had a good game, was effective, he says, I was not myself. I wasn't good enough. And so it's just kind of was like, LeBron, this was your chance. You could have just said, like, I did not do enough. We'll get it better next time. There were so many different ways to go about it. But instead, you tell me I'm stupid to my face.
The words that he says, because what he is saying is he's glossing over and by glossing over, I'm saying he's highlighting. He's pointing out how much Luka averages. It sounds like he's praising Luka and being like, man, what could we do? But in reality, he's doing the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying, don't blame me for this. Blame our star who averages 35 points a game that can't be healthy, and that's the reason why the Mavericks ended up trading him out of Dallas. That's who you have to blame. So the numbers that I am saying aren't saying like, yeah, of course we can't compete with an NBA champion, but hey, if your superstar, the guy that you love Los Angeles, the guy that you want to take the crown from me or to carry the torch, if this is your guy, then why isn't he here? Stu Gatz and Company live here on Fox Sports Radio. She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer. You had another uniform thing pop in your head?
I did, and it's just one that gets under my gets my gears going, gets me annoyed, whatever, is when you go to a game, like when I go to a Clippers game, and they are playing anybody, let's just say the Portland Trailblazers, and I see a Lakers shirt or a Lakers jersey, I'm like, are you confused? because we're not even at Staples Center anymore. Why are you wearing Lakers anything? I went to a Giants-Yankees game recently. The boyfriend's a big Yankees fan, and I was not going to show up in a Dodgers hat.
Definitely not.
They're not playing. Why are you
and
wearing
they're the rival.
that?
They're
and
the
they're
rival.
rival.
Yes.
So I hate when I'm at the Dodgers. I'm always at the Dodgers, and we're playing the Mariners, whatever. And then there's a Giants fan in a jersey and a hat. What are we doing? What are we doing? That one is annoying.
I did go to a Utah Utes football game years back, and I wore my Ohio State Jim Tressel sweater vest. It was red, so it matched all of the, but it was
sweater vest.
Yes.
You in a red sweater vest.
I got pictures
I
of
would
that
love
as
to
well.
see it. I would love to see it.
Z-Man 40. I'm just here to shout out Dan's polo. Did so on the YouTube chat.
There
Thank
you
you
go.
very much.
There you go.
And Fox Sports Radio, our own official chat, our own site. Dan Beyer, always the professional, even on the golf course. Got to do it.
It's true.
If you missed any of today's show, be sure to catch the podcast. Just search Stu Gatz and Company Live wherever you get your podcast. Please follow the podcast, rated 5 stars, and provide a review. Again, just search Stu Gatz and Company Live wherever you get your podcast, and you'll find today's full show and a best-of version posted right after the end of the show. And also, check out our original podcast, Stu Gatz and Company, God Bless Football, and with Stu Gatz and Hochman. Stu Gatz and Company not here today because they were in for the herd earlier today here on Fox Sports Radio. We talked some WNBA and getting a preview of the upcoming season. Scott Agnes joins us on the other side of Isaac Lowenkron, giving us the latest of what's happening this Friday.
Dan and Monse in the NFL. New York Jets running back Breece Hall has agreed to a 3-year, $45 million extension. The NFL and the NFL Referees Association have reached a new 7-year collective bargaining agreement through the 2032 season. The Denver Broncos signed general manager George Payton to a new 5-year contract through 2030. The NFL announced that the 2026 schedule will be released next Thursday, May the 14th. Coming up tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, it's Game 3 of the NBA's Eastern Conference semifinals from Philadelphia, with the New York Knicks leading the Sixers 2-0. Baseball, The Athletic reported moments ago that Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Blake Snell will make his season debut on Saturday against Atlanta after missing the first month of the season because of left shoulder inflammation. Finally, Dan and Monse, we have a Baltimore Orioles Tupac update. As we speak, there is an enormous line outside of Oriole Park at Camden Yards because tonight the Orioles are giving away Tupac bobbleheads to the first 20,000 fans in attendance for this evening's game against the Athletics. Now, Tupac grew up in Baltimore, where he attended the Baltimore School of the Arts. The Orioles are actually having to open the gates earlier than normal tonight due to the demand. Now back to Monse and Dan, 19 Super Bowls Beyer.
Isn't that the one where he knew Jada from? I think they went. I thought the school was in Baltimore.
You're
the same
correct.
School, so
If they need any assistance on how to handle a crowd for a bobblehead, they should ask the Dodgers. We are pros at that. All right, you are listening to Stu Gatz and Company here at Fox Sports Radio. I am Monse Bolaños. He is Dan Beyer. We have Scott Agnes, who covers the Pacers and the Fever for Fieldhouse Files. Scott, how are you? Thanks for joining us on this Friday.
Yeah, how's it going? We got a big weekend coming up in Indianapolis. We have the WNBA opener with the Fever on ABC. Then, of course, Sunday, the draft lottery, all while getting ready for the Indianapolis 500. So it's a perfect time in Indy.
Perfect time in Indy, but let's get started with who we really care about from Indy right now. Caitlin Clark, a big day tomorrow. Fever and the Wings. But tell me she's okay, Scott. Tell me that little bump she had during that preseason game where she said she just hit her knee really hard and that the plan was always for her to come out of the game. Tell me that's all real and that she's 100% and ready to go.
Yeah, I don't expect that to bother her at all. I think it was kind of like a rug burn there, court burn that she was dealing with. I didn't even see an athletic trainer go and attend to her after that. I think it was a situation where it was just frustration. And here's the positive. If you want the positive spin here, is coming back from an injury, you need, scares like that, right? Where you're just not sure. And then, okay, I'm good. I'm good. Because how many start and stops did she have last season? It was countless, right? And so to have that mini scare, I think is probably helpful for her going into the regular season. She'll probably have at least one more of those, given the fact that she hadn't played in a regular season game since all the way back in last July. But for those on leg sleeve watch, she did not have the leg sleeve on today at practice. Not that big a deal, but it's definitely something the internet took notice of.
Scott, are there differences? Because this isn't like a torn ACL. You're coming back from that injury. She had a variety of injuries last year. So you take this entire offseason. Does something like that, is it handled differently in the offseason, or how do the Fever prepare her for a season like this to prevent the nagging, and I'm saying plural, injuries?
Yeah, I think first of all, it got off to a bad start last year because the first leg injury was in like day 2. So she never really got out of the gate essentially completely healthy. And then one thing led to another, and she's competitive and has never been through this before. And she probably pitched through it a couple times trying to be out there, including that Iowa preseason game back in her home state there. In a perfect world, she probably wouldn't have played. But there's no chance she's not playing 20 minutes in front of a venue that came to entirely see her. So going into this season, I think more than anything, they're just being a little bit more conscious about her reps. And maybe she doesn't need to be playing in every 5-on-5 or doing every single drill. Maybe they can, sneak her and Kelsey Mitchell the same way, a breather, right? Like they've been in the system for a year. There's half the team is newcomers. They can work them in a little bit more. The most important thing is that she's out there when it matters most. And then on top of that, I think the other thing is just the level at which she's caring for her body and the level at which now she knows how to care for her body. She used to joke like all of us. She would just run out there, no need to stretch. No, I think so much of what she's done is specific, routine-oriented, spending time on all the little things before she even touches the basketball.
And how is it working with the plan to not have Caitlin Clark handle the ball so much? How is she adjusting to that? Because I feel like that's all she knows to do. How are they working that out?
Yeah, so I think you'll see that in spurts. It's certainly something that's been captivating for throughout this training camp. I think the general point you're going to see with all that is the ball's going to be in her hand 80% of the time, probably. What they're getting at here is if they can sneak in a couple situations or plays where she's off the ball and able to catch her breath, or if another player has it, they can bring it up just fine. We saw Leah Boston do that. Certainly they're stacked with guards, everyone from Raven Johnson to Lexi Hall, Kelsey Mitchell. I think the biggest challenge that she faces that no other player in the league does is that she has picked up no matter where she is on the court, all 94 feet. And so that's a challenge. And then imagine having to dribble through that. And then by the time you get across the court, you lost 8 seconds. Your star player's a little bit more tired. And to do that game after game, that's what they're trying to prevent. It's not a strategic thing. It's nothing. I think you will see some new wrinkles. But I think it's important to see this play out. I don't think it'll continue to be the major story that has become in camp.
Scott Agnes joining us here on Fox Sports Radio. She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer, in for Stu Gatz and Company live here on FSR. I pardon the pun, but is there still Caitlin Clark fever in Indianapolis? We're now entering year 3. How does it compare to when she, burst on to the professional scene just a couple of seasons ago?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely alive and well. You have new commercials out today about her. You have a new jersey out and of course she's featured. They're hanging banners across all of downtown, and as she should, she's front and center in all those. Yeah, one of the cool things I can tell you that they're going to do this year is display a large map in the fan concourse, and they want fans to, as it was told to me, kind of pin where they came from to come see the game. And so a month in, halfway through the season, later in the season, I think it'll be fascinating to go to that world map and just see, because it's a direct reflection of her, obviously, in all this. All 44 games on national TV, that's the Caitlin Clark effect. That's why I like to call her the needle, because she continues to move it. So there is some curiosity, some skepticism, some uneasiness, maybe just because of how last season played out. But no, everybody is looking forward to see Clark back on the floor and doing what she does best.
I love the idea of this map. I really do. That sounds awesome. What are the expectations that the Fever have going into this season? They're not favored to win the championship, but they're also not far. I think they're third overall favored to win. So what are their expectations? To win it all, or to just have Caitlin Clark stay healthy and have a successful season?
I think we kind of go hand in hand. It starts with being healthy, and then from there, everyone you talk to, they go, look, everything in camp for them has been starting with the mentality, and the mentality is to win the day, and from there, it's to win a championship. They're entering this with championship on their mind. They feel like there's some unfinished business from last season, and that was despite all those injuries and your star player being out for, the majority of the season. So I think where they're slotted right now, as you mentioned, I think that's realistic. I would not put them necessarily as the favorites right now. They need to get healthy. They need to shore up some of their front court and what that looks like, but they are absolutely going to be in the conversation and be one of the top teams if health and everything is finally back on their side. No doubt about that.
All right, I have a Pacers question. Is that okay?
Go
Is that
for
okay? Because you did mention the draft lottery. This worked out well. I mean, in a way, like in what was an awful situation with Halliburton's knee injury happening in Game 7. I think they've tried to make lemonade out of the lemons that they were dealt, and now they have an opportunity to get a high pick. Scott, how much do they want number one? Or is it a matter of let's just not fall out of the top 4? Where are the Pacers' mind in making sure that they at least cash in on this? What is the hope for what could go down on Sunday?
Yeah, it 100% starts with just be a top 4 pick for many reasons. First of all, there's only a 52% chance that it is. So if you're going to Vegas, you love those odds. But going into this draft lottery in Chicago, you're probably a little bit uneasy about this because if it's pick 5 or 6, it obviously goes to the Clippers. They're out of this pick, and they'll have to pivot and probably go find and try to use some of that money that would be allotted to a top 4 player, probably $13 million, to somebody else in free agency, and it'll probably include going into the luxury tax. But this team, to your point, is not usually here. This is a team that perennially essentially makes the playoffs and therefore does not get one of these top picks. They haven't drafted inside the top 4 since 1988. Nobody on the team was even close to being born back then, right? And so so this will set up to be a massive day for the franchise if they do get it. Now, I will say that then their 2031 first-round pick becomes unprotected, and I never like that. 2029 and 31 unprotected to the Clippers for the deal that brought Zubac to Indy. But along the same lines, realistically, they believe they have a 2, maybe 3-year window with Siakam in his prime, with Halliburton entering his prime, and the rest of the crew to go and try to get back to the finals for the 3rd time in franchise history and finally win one. And so they want to maximize this 2-year window, and adding a top 4 pick would allow them to hopefully do that.
A lot of good players available, that's for sure. A great, strong draft class.
Different from last year.
And I think that's what that top 4 protection told us, right? That they would be very comfortable with any one of those top 4. Of course, you'd want the number 1 pick for top 2. I think that would also give you options. Like, what if you're not madly in love with the second or, if your number 1 guy was gone, what if you, almost like we see more often in NFL, you drop down a couple spots, added 2 first-round picks. Now that's how a franchise like the Pacers should operate, where they don't get free agents and that sort of thing, and you just have to be more creative, like we've seen with OKC.
They're also fortunate too. Darius Acuff's probably going to be a top 5 pick. I don't think he's going to be a top 3 or top 4, but they don't need a point guard. So like you've got a Boozer, you got a DeBonsa up there. So if DeBonsa goes number 1, maybe take Boozer. There's obviously Darren Peterson as well. So they have good options. I think the Pacers are in a good spot on Sunday. It's just, can they stay in that good spot? That's the question.
Yeah, that's the number 1 thing. They're hoping T.J. McConnell, their longtime point guard, can bring them luck as their on-stage representative. And so Sunday will turn out to be a massive day either way, whether they land that top 4 pick for the first time in decades or, oh, man, they just missed out. They did get Zubac in the trade, their starting center, but now what? So it'll be an emotional roller coaster, I think.
You take care of Ivica Zubac over there, okay? You take care of him, Scott. He is a former Clipper, and that is my team, and I'm so sad that he had to go, but you guys take care of him. Scott, you take care. We appreciate you hopping on. Thank you so much. You guys can follow Scott
Thanks, Scott.
Agnes
Appreciate it, man.
on X at Scott Agnes, Agnes. He covers not just the Fever, but the Pacers for Field House Files. Thank you, Scott. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too. Thanks so much.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Great insight.
Seriously. He has a busy weekend over there.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
he has a busy weekend.
A very, very busy month of May in Indianapolis. And, I was thinking to myself, we were heavy on the Fever. They're very heavy. But I think that's what people care about. Like, I'm not like the biggest question entering this weekend, aside from the launch of the season, is Caitlin Clark and what they're going to do against the Dallas Stars and what's going to come up. So I feel that it's a legitimate part
Dallas
of the conversation.
Wings, but it's fine.
Yeah, what did I say?
Dallas Stars.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Dallas Wings.
It's all right, listen.
I know it's the Wings. And the reason
Stars.
That's all right. Called Austin Rivers, Austin Reeves 3 times this week.
I know that's a real team.
Because
You're not wrong. It's just the wrong team.
And listen, I know it's the Dallas Wings.
I know, yeah.
I thought that there should be a Dallas wing, like the flavor. Like you go to Wingstop, instead there's the buffalo, like they got the.
And what would be the Dallas flavor?
Well, that's my point. I was on Instagram last night, and all of a sudden I'm scrolling, and an ad pops up, and it's like, no more buffalo. It was this Texas company that it was garlic and some other sauces. Like, so they were trying to make a Texas sort of flavored wing, and it all came together at that point. But I know it's the Dallas Wings.
The Dallas Wings, Dallas Stars, Dallas Cowboys.
And I was mad because the Dallas Stars took the name. I thought they should have been the Dallas Lone Stars when they moved from Minnesota. I thought that would have been better. But then they just instead took the Stars nickname, which allowed Minnesota, when they got a team back, to call themselves the Wild, which I've never liked the Wild nickname. I just think it's just way too general. I'm not a fan of it. I wish that when Minnesota got their hockey team back, they would have been the North Stars again.
Oh, I'm sorry for your loss.
That's all right. TED Talk over. She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer, in for Stugotz and Company live here on Fox Sports Radio. Not only is it a big day in Iowa because Caitlin Clark's going to make her season debut tomorrow for Indiana, it's a big weekend for another reason in the great state of Iowa. Plus, do you really need to hate on Oklahoma City? She's Monse. I'm Dan. That's next here on Fox Sports Radio. Earlier inside the NBA in the program with Draymond Green sitting in the chair of Shaquille O'Neal talking about the latter days of the Warriors, and as their reign is coming to an end, which shouldn't be a shock to anyone. It was a theme throughout the season, and when you saw them hug on the sidelines, you kind of knew something was going to happen. Still no determination on Steve Kerr's future. But Draymond Green, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, Ernie Johnson talking about the demise of the Warriors, and this is how it all started.
Sports are for young people. You hope to have a great long career, but sports, nobody wins when they're 37, 38.
But you said what you said. I want to hear if he believes what you're talking. Yeah, I mean, I think the goal is just to not look like you in the Houston Rockets uniform.
Yeah.
Is ultimately the goal for us. Like, we don't want to.
What does that look like?
Did you see it?
I'm just asking.
I saw it. I mean, so, you know.
All right, that's kind of the point. I don't think Charles heard him. I don't think Charles was listening to him because Charles said yeah to that point
He
where
really
it sounded
did.
like it
Yes.
agreed with him, but I don't think that he did because then Kenny stepped up and was like, well, tell me about it then,
Right.
Draymond.
How was that?
If you're going to go to that point, Kenny knew right away that was a low blow.
Yes.
And then Draymond had the decision to make. Do you stick with it or do you apologize and make a U-turn? Well, he's not going to make an apology and make a U-turn. He stuck with it, said what he had to say, and moved on. And after that, there wasn't a huge back and forth where Chuck took offense.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone else, I felt on social media, took offense to what Draymond Green said because what Draymond Green said, not only was it classless, Monse, it was factually incorrect when you look at Charles Barkley's tenure with the Houston Rockets.
Immediately when he said that, I was like, first of all, did you watch Charles Barkley? Like, really watch him? Because we're around the same age, Draymond Green and I.
Yeah.
And I have images of my brothers watching Charles Barkley. One of my brothers, Gus, hey, what's up? One of his favorite players, if not his favorite player, was Charles Barkley. And so I didn't have, like, images of him or memories of him being bad as a Rocket. If anything, I just remember him still carrying a team and being the guy. And that's what's funny about Draymond Green. Draymond Green talks a lot like he's the guy when he just was on a team that had the guys. And kind of like Austin Rivers pointed out, like, you got very lucky to be in a situation where you're surrounded by all of these Hall of Famers in different ways, but he tends to speak like he's the guy. And I don't know if it's ever going to be something that can be corrected in his brain because he's not the guy. He's not. And we don't need to talk about the championships because everybody knows Charles Barkley didn't win one. But let's talk about the All-NBAs. Let's talk about the All-Stars. Let's talk about the MVP. Let's just talk about being a guy who's carrying a team, not a guy who's number 4 on a team. A great part of a team, of a dynasty, but you were not the guy.
Charles Barkley, you mentioned his resume there. Charles Barkley did things that Draymond Green will never hear of. And the problem that I see with Draymond and what is happening is because he's saying these things trying to be he's trying to be Draymond is what he's trying to be. And he is now doing harm to his own reputation and his own career, because I think that a lot of us would appreciate what Draymond did in his career as a defensive player for what he did for a long time in his career and say, you know what, that's a heck of a player. But now when Draymond is taking shots at everyone else, and to your point, talking about roles that players played that Draymond could never dream of, it makes me, you, and everyone else then say, okay, all right, let's bring out the fine-tooth comb, Draymond. Let's look at your resume. Let's look at what your Warriors have done since you won that last title in 2022. Chuck's teams with the Rockets was there 4 years. They went to the Western Conference Finals twice. They got Stockton and Malone. That's what they did. Like they were. That's who they ran into. Now, the last year didn't end right. The next year the third year was the lockout season, I believe. But the final year of his career, it didn't pan out. But when you look at what's going on, that title for the Warriors was 2022. We're in 2026. This team made it to the playoffs a couple of times, won a series against the Kings, then were ousted from the playoffs. They only made it to the conference semifinals twice and were not competitive last year. The Timberwolves made quick work of them after it took everything for them to just beat a Houston Rockets team in the first round. And so when Draymond starts to say those things about Charles Barkley, separate of all that, it makes us look at Draymond's career a little bit more, and that's where Draymond is doing harm. Stugotz and Company live here on Fox Sports Radio. Wrapping up today's show. Monse and I aren't going anywhere. We're actually in for Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio.
That's right, so I could eat the rest of my pizza. Thanks,
so we've
Dan.
got a halftime. Half of my pizza's in my teeth, which makes us being on YouTube that much. So when I'm talking like this, you'll know why.
You'll know why. It's because he respects you and doesn't want to spit at you.
Yes. It's like 3D. It's coming at your computer screen.
Right.
On your phone when you're watching.
Like a true actor.
Right.
Spitting his lines.
Be sure to check out our new YouTube channel for the show. Just search Stugotz Live on YouTube. Again, that's Stugotz Live. Hit the subscribe button, and after you've done that, tap the thumbs up icon and comment away whether you agree or disagree. Let us know what you think. Again, just search Stugotz Live on YouTube and subscribe. You can also subscribe to Stugotz 790 on YouTube for videos from our original podcast. Thanks to Scott Agnes, who joined us talking some Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever in advance of the opening weekend for the WNBA. Also, NBA Draft Lottery. Talked about the Pacers' position in that. That comes up on Sunday. It's my second favorite non-sporting event. Number one is Selection Sunday.
Of course.
Because it has to do with sports, but it's not a game.
Sure.
It's not an event. It has to do with it. Draft Lottery is second. And Bo Benson knows why, because it's the unveiling of the logos. The cards, when they pull it out of the envelope, there's the logo. There is drama when your team's in it. Are they going to move up if you're not in that top 4? You don't want to see your logo early on in the process if you are the top 4. So there's a lot of drama with the Draft Lottery. comes up. I believe it's 3 o'clock Eastern time on Sunday. I know it's I thought it was noon local time for us here, but it does happen Sunday afternoon on ABC.
3 Eastern.
3 Eastern, perfect. Is that on ABC? Is that?
Yes, it is. Yes,
right.
it is. Yes, it is. ABC.
So the draft lottery comes up on Sunday. We mentioned the start of the WNBA season. We mentioned Caitlin Clark. There's more Iowa news to get to.
Really?
Yes. Ben McCollum finalizing a new 6-year extension to be the Iowa men's basketball coach.
All right.
Sam, that one is for you.
All right. And when I saw that breaking news, and when I saw Ben's face, and he was sort of like serious, kind of frowning, and then I saw breaking news, my heart fluttered for a second. And then I was like, okay, he's staying at Iowa, of course.
Well, they kind of had to because there were jobs that were available that
there were suitors.
Yes, there were.
That he turned down.
Yes, but if this is your dream job, you don't leave after a year, and you don't leave after an Elite 8 run.
Boy,
and
I hope so.
Iowa understands how the game is played. So, new extension for Ben McCollum and the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Blank check, please. I mean, first year Elite 8, just give that man his money.
Especially in today's landscape of college sports.
Yes.
If there is someone you like, just do it. Because money can come from a different side real quick. Real quick.
By the way, on the video, I'm in a Caitlin Clark sandwich right now. I am. If you see it on YouTube, I'm surrounded by Caitlin Clark jerseys. But you're going to have to pay in college basketball. Danny Hurley and Aaron Torres, our teammate here at Fox Sports Radio, was talking about it on social media yesterday. But Danny Hurley saying, NIL-wise, you have to spend $14 million if you want to compete. Like, that's the low end. Like, that's how much you have to invest in your roster. Schools are allowed $20 million, and 15 of that's going to football. So now you're gonna if $4 or $5 million are going to men's basketball, you got to figure out ways to get around or get more NIL money. Yeah, it's all about the dollar signs. We're all wrapped up in the 76 team NCAA tournament. There's still debates, and I'm fine with it. But yeah, I don't know how that's great.
It's crazy. I know we know that they spend a lot of money, but I think seeing that number, it kind of it gave me a double take. I said, how much? How much do you need to spend to be a competitive team?
Yes. And the point is, it's not that we're mad or I'm mad about the players getting the money, because that's what everybody always said. Oh, you don't want players to be, paid, for what they're worth. No, that's not it. It's just that what does that do to the competition field? Because not everybody's going to be able to match that number. That, as a fan, is what concerns me. She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer. We're sticking around here on Fox Sports Radio for the next couple of hours. Charles Barkley has responded to Draymond Green and why no one likes OKC. That's next.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best.
You were dating some girl, and you were like,
hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense.
Her mom walked in.
Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say. It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win, sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the fun.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there, and I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. I take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
In the NFL, New York Jets running back Breece Hall has agreed to a 3-year, $45 million extension. The NFL and the NFL Referees Association reached a new 7-year collective bargaining agreement through 2032. The Denver Broncos signed general manager George Payton to a new 5-year contract through 2030. The NFL announced that the 2026 regular season schedule will be released next Thursday, the 14th of May. ESPN reports the sale of the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks is drawing softer than expected interest. The Green Bay Packers today released veteran place kicker Brandon McManus. Baseball, The Athletic reports Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Blake Snell will make his season debut on Saturday against the Atlanta Braves. Snell missed the first month of the regular season because of left shoulder inflammation. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
Welcome in. It is Covino and Rich. The guys are on their last day of vacation. That also means, Monse, it is a Friday.
Friday.
Today's Friday.
Today's
I didn't hear Bo or Isaac, but that's
No,
okay.
They're
That's okay.
saying it in their
I didn't have
heads.
Isaac's mic up.
Yeah,
so
My mouth was filled with the free pizza you gave us.
that is true.
Still.
Everyone's
Mine
still
is
eating.
too, and I'm done eating. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Welcome in. We are everywhere on your local affiliate, on the iHeart app, and on YouTube right now. Isaac, Bo, Iowa Sam, Monse, and me. Let's lock it in on a Friday. Monse, you and I have been in for Covino and Rich all week long.
All week.
As the guys are on vacation. Again, Danny G and Rich picking the exact same vacation spot. Not the exact same hotel, but the exact same area.
How cute.
I wonder if they're going to be on the same flight back when they come.
Do you think they'll acknowledge each other, or
Just
they're
nod.
just going to be like, let's
They walk
not.
past each other on the
Let's
beach?
not. Yeah.
Oh, hey.
I'll see you back in L.A.
If you saw one of us four on vacation, I'm not saying pick favorites, but would you acknowledge? How would you do it? Because there would have been if Rich sees Danny at the bar, I'm thinking Rich goes up to him and is like, Danny G.
Yeah.
Hey man, we're just headed over to the pool. Why don't
come join us?
Yeah, you grab the kid, your wife, come on over. Let's go have a good time.
Yes.
And I think if Danny G saw Rich, he'd be like, let's go the other way.
Yeah,
like Danny would just want to keep it low
He would
key.
just- yeah,
he would be
still
like, we're gonna go out this way.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, if I saw you at a bar or like at a hotel, I would send you a drink. And then you'd be like, who sends me a drink? I don't even drink. And then I'd wave from you. I'd wave at you from afar. That's what I would do.
You wouldn't.
I would send you a drink. You could be like, why is someone sending me? I don't drink. And then I'd wave from far away.
I would approach you guys and be like, fancy seeing you here, right?
Yeah.
Wow, what is going on? Oh, that's great. All right, guys, have a great vacation. I'll see you later, and we'll see you back in
That's right.
the States.
Yes.
That's what it'll be. We would go. I would acknowledge, I would accept,
Yeah.
and then I would break.
I would acknowledge from afar.
You would.
Send you
You
an
wouldn't
app-
even get that close. You
No.
would buy
No, buy you a drink from afar and then wave.
to those three guys too.
Yeah. I'd send him a drink. Hey,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
So that's what Danny G and Rich are dealing with, or going to have to deal with if they bump into each other on their vacation locale. They'll be back on Monday. We are here today. We've been here all week, and we've been having some fun on social media. Some people like what we say. Some people don't like what we say. Some people liked what Charles Barkley said. Other people liked what Draymond Green said. It's been a topic of conversation. You can see the clip on Facebook. You can see it on X. You can see it on TikTok. You can see it on Instagram. All of those places, and there is quite the conversation still going on from what happened the other night on Inside the NBA when Draymond Green said this to Charles Barkley.
Sports are for young people. You hope to have a great long career, but sports, nobody wins when they're 37, 38.
But you said what you said. I want to hear if he believes what you're talking. Yeah, I mean, I think the goal is just to not look like you in the Houston Rockets uniform.
Yeah.
Is ultimately the goal for us. Like, we don't want to.
What does that look like?
Did you see it?
I'm just asking.
I saw it.
Now, to recap,
I saw it.
Charles didn't hear Draymond being disrespectful. Kenny Smith tried to step up for him. Draymond is like, I'm not going to walk it back, and said what he said. And we knew Charles really didn't hear him because he just said, yeah. But I think Chuck then heard the comments, and Chuck was able to respond. He was on Dan Patrick earlier today. This is what Charles Barkley had to say in response to what Draymond said to him on the air the other night on Inside the NBA.
Hey, man, I never punched down. Draymond's a good player. We're not on the same level. So I can hear, but I don't have to respond to every time somebody says something about me.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Draymond's a really good player. He's had a hell of a career, but we're not on the same level.
Yes.
It's true.
Yeah. Did he say that twice, or did we just play it twice? Well, it seemed like he said the same exact thing.
Sort of. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it's difficult now for Chuck to respond. And I'll say it this way. I in a way I believe him, Monse. There's no win in Charles now saying something, because I think you, me, and so many of us and Kenny Smith took to Charles's defense. So him saying something right now doesn't carry a lot of weight. He was also on set with Draymond the rest of the night. And while you wouldn't say, hey, here we are coming back from the half from San Antonio. It's, by the way, Draymond, you said something to me in the like that would have been awkward. That wouldn't have followed the script. I think Chuck's like, I'm going to be a company player. But I also believe him when he says, I'm not going to punch down. And that Draymond isn't the player, and Draymond didn't have to go through the things that Charles did, as Charles was a perennial MVP candidate every year. So just him saying, I'm not going to punch down is enough for Charles Barkley in this situation.
Everything he said was perfect. By saying, I'm not going to punch down, as saying, this is low-hanging fruit for me to attack this man. And he didn't have to, because you said it. Everybody else seems to be on Barkley's side. Everyone seems to agree that Draymond was out of line. And we said this, pointed this out yesterday. Without trying, one bully made the other old bully look so bad. Like, they're both bad boys. But Draymond alone made himself look so bad because Barkley had such a nonchalant, or whether it was that he didn't hear or he was like processing, whatever. His lack of response in that moment made Draymond look even worse. So he didn't have to do anything, where everybody else is speaking on behalf of Charles. That must be nice.
You want to know how I knew Draymond was so wrong? Is I've never heard anyone in the sports lexicon say, I don't want to look like Barkley in a Rockets uniform.
That part.
Right? We've never heard that, but we've heard that from other athletes. I don't want to be Emmitt Smith in a Cardinals uniform. Emmitt Smith actually almost had 1,000 yards in the he played 2 seasons in Arizona. One of them, I think he had like 930 yards rushing. But even on the Cowboy documentaries we saw, Emmitt didn't even want to be a Cardinal, at that point. We talk about, was it Johnny Unitas in a Chargers uniform, Joe Namath in a Rams uniform, Jerry Rice in a Seahawks uniform. Like, those are things that people don't want to see, that they just didn't want to see. We have never, though, said, I don't want to be like Charles Barkley in a Houston Rockets uniform. That was never said. That was never uttered. And it also, as you kind of step back and move away from the situation, and we just talk about their roles in TV, and Charles has been such a fixture on our screens for a couple of decades now. When you see what Draymond tried to do, you realize that Chuck wasn't doing that to other players. So if you're a fan of Kevin Durant or you're a fan of LeBron James, the current stars in the NBA that have been around for a while, if Chuck is being critical of you, he's not doing what Draymond's doing. And I feel that some of the NBA players felt that maybe he was. Maybe he was taking shots, being personal. But I don't think that was the case. Like, if you want to see how it gets personal, that's what Draymond did. And Chuck had never done that to anybody, I think, over the last 20 years.
Yeah, I think the criticism with Chuck or Shaq, and sometimes just like everybody from inside the NBA, was that they were too harsh on the sport, too harsh on the product. Like they kept wanting to say it wasn't good compared to how it was back in their day. And I agree, because I feel like when Charles or Shaq, because those are the big guys, Kenny the Jet is saying it from a different perspective. When they critique the big guys, they're critiquing them as their lack of maybe physicality in today's day and age. But you're right, it was never like a direct attack or a personal attack, like, yeah, or trying to embarrass someone. Because I feel like that's what Draymond in that moment, like, it's like, oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings or embarrass you, but nobody wants to be you at that point. Like, that you were trying to embarrass him in that moment, pretending that you weren't. But it was like, no, I don't think Shaq or Charles or any of those guys have done something like that. The critique has been that they just talk negatively on the product itself too much.
Bo Benson, you've edited this audio. Are you satisfied with what Charles said in response to Draymond earlier today on DP show?
Yeah, I feel like he could have been meaner if he wanted to. Like, Sam and I were talking about this in here. There was never a point at all with the Warriors where you felt they won a title because Draymond Green
not once
was there. Like, he's a good defensive player. I struggle to say he's a good leader because all he's ever done is drive guys away or, punch guys in practice. I do think that this is going to kind of be the generational divide, though, because I think there are going to be kids that think, well, Draymond has 4 rings and Chuck doesn't have any. They never saw Chuck play, so he is the better player. But like anyone that saw Charles Barkley play, they know he's the better player.
I think that's an interesting comment, too, because it is all about ring culture. Now, that's all that it is. And to think that, honestly, I think Draymond's had a great career in the NBA. And for all of his defensive player of the year and his all-defensive team accolades and what he's done, It's been a really good career. And we said this, Monty, earlier in the week. The unfortunate downfall or casualty to Draymond's comments is now we look at his career with a more focused eye, with a more discerning eye, that we're starting to pick apart his career. And that's too bad, because now we are saying things, and it's fair of, well, he did get to play with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson the whole time. Look at the supporting cast. He got to play with Steve Kerr, but Draymond brings that on himself. Draymond brings that on himself when he says Steve Kerr didn't draw plays up to me, for me. So it would maybe benefit Draymond if Draymond would stop saying these things about other players, because it's putting him under the microscope in his career, which was a great NBA career. And now we're the ones that are starting to poke holes in it because it doesn't seem that he wants to play by the rules. I think that's a very unfortunate circumstance to what's gone on in these war of words, not only with Charles Barkley, but also with what he said about Steve Kerr.
2019 was the year that Steph broke his hand, right? So he missed majority of the season. That was 2019, 2020, I believe. And I just wanted to see, because that would be a time where maybe Draymond had the opportunity to be the guy, because Steph Curry went down. And if I'm looking at this correctly, they were 15-50 that year.
Yeah, that was if it was 2019, 2020, that was COVID year. Yeah.
So 2019 into 2020, not 2020 into 2021.
Okay.
So I think it was the year prior to COVID.
2019 into 2020 was the COVID year.
Was the year COVID?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But doesn't matter, like to your point if Steph's not there, if Steph's not playing, and Steph has been out, and they were without Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like they were having great success until Klay Thompson came back from all of his injuries. Steph was being Steph, and then they did win the title in 2022. So it came back and had that run, but it had to bring everybody together, not just two of them and not just one of them. And again, this is us now piling on Draymond because he had no regard for anybody else's career in all of this. I think it's a great lesson, and I don't think that you would see Udonis Haslem or Dirk Nowitzki or Blake Griffin or Carmelo Anthony or Tracy McGrady do that on their pregame shows or their postgame shows like they had. It is a different atmosphere on inside the NBA, but I don't think of any of the current or the new school guys that we see in these crews are going to go down that road. And so this is also unique in that aspect where I think that they're able to learn a lesson, but I don't think Dirk Nowitzki has any desire to go and tear down anybody else's career. I don't think he wants to go and, Udonis Haslem is not going to sit there and poke holes in what Blake Griffin did or didn't do or vice versa. And it's just a different I don't want to say it's a different era because those players are all in the same era, just like Draymond is and Charles Barkley's from a different era, but it's about a TV show as well. And so it's a different era in broadcasting in that way that Draymond Green's gonna, have to learn, and these other shows now won't ever make those mistakes.
It's just like the prime guys, right? Those are the guys you're mentioning. They're operating like if they're on a team now. We're on the same team, and the inside the NBA guys are on a team.
Mm-hmm.
And Draymond comes in sometimes, and sometimes I actually don't mind Draymond Green being part of the broadcast. I sometimes think he says really great stuff. But in that moment, it was just like, you're not being part of the team. We asked you to come join us. We invited you to be part of the team. And you came out one of our own. Like, it was bad from top to bottom.
Yeah. Imagine, let's just say, Isaac was out yesterday. Chris Perfett's in there. Chris Perfett's going to take a shot. We're not having it. Like, that's
right.
not.
We're not. Yeah, that's not what this is about.
It's not what we do. And we can rib each other here, but I'm not going to get personal and take shots at Monse or take shots at Bo or take shots at Sam. And and that's what Draymond did. Like, if you're sitting in your car right now thinking your coworkers, like, are you going to really take personal shots at them in front of millions of people?
In front of millions of people.
To see that, to
Where
get that sort of response?
When they said, come join us.
That's the funny thing is the only people that I see defending Draymond are the ring culture protectors and Golden State Warrior fans that still feel that, he represents their team. And he hasn't represented them great with some of his actions. Again, great player, but all of this he's brought on himself to make us pick apart his career. And all Charles Barkley has to say is, I don't punch down. We're different players. End of story.
Yeah. Good on Charles.
Yeah. I wonder what's going to happen the next time they get together. And there will be there's not going to be a fallout. Draymond's going to be back on inside the NBA.
I think so too. I think so
and
too.
I think we said this earlier in the week. Like, Charles wouldn't want him fired. Charles wouldn't want him off the set. Charles can handle himself. And to his point, he's like, what does that mean? I just don't think he heard him the first time.
And I think Charles may say things off air that we won't hear to Draymond.
Sure.
Right? Do you want to read all these comments about you and how dumb you looked? Look at this. That's all he has to do. I would just constantly send him what people are saying. I would just send him pictures. Look at what this person said. Look at what this person. That's what I would be doing.
She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer. Bo Benson is here. Iowa Sam and Isaac Lowenkron sitting in for Covino and Rich here on Fox Sports Radio. You can tweet at Monse Bolaños. You can find me at Dan Beyer on Fox. Also, take part in our YouTube chat as the show is live streaming right now. And Stello in Stockton says, I was a Sixers fan as a youth before the Kings moved to Sacramento, but I don't think we have to defend Charles Barkley. Chuck was a terror. And he absolutely was.
He was.
Yes.
He was a bully. Yeah.
And yesterday we listed all the seasons that Chuck received MVP votes.
There was too many.
Yes, there were.
Almost
there were
pretty
a lot.
much assume all of them.
There were a lot. She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer in for Covino and Rich here on Fox Sports Radio. Coming up next, could we see a reunion that we never thought would happen again? The pieces are now falling into place. She's Monse. I'm Dan. It's all next year on Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Every sports season is built on preparation, studying the trends, and making the necessary adjustments to reach the ultimate goal.
Investing deserves the same approach. With Webull, you have access to real-time market data, advanced tools, and an intuitive app designed to help you make informed decisions.
Whether you're actively trading stocks, options, ETFs, and more, or planning for the long term for you and your family with IRAs, cash management, and custodial accounts for children, Webull gives you the tools to invest your way all in one platform.
Looking to take your preparation to the next level? Check out Webull's Learn resources and join their in-app community feed to discuss investing trends and happenings alongside 25 million users globally.
And now to help streamline your trading activities and elevate your strategy, try Vega, Webull's personal market AI assistant that can give real-time analysis, watch list insights, and alerts when earnings drop.
So get your financial portfolio game ready by downloading the Webull app today or visiting Webull.com.
Webull Financial LLC, member SIPC FINRA. Investing involves risk. For more information, visit Webull.com/disclosures.
Earlier inside the NBA in the program with Draymond Green sitting in the chair of Shaquille O'Neal talking about the latter days of the Warriors and as their reign is coming to an end, which shouldn't be a shock to anyone. It was a theme throughout the season, and when he saw them hug on the sidelines, he kind of knew something was going to happen. Still no determination on Steve Kerr's future. But Draymond Green, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, Ernie Johnson talking about the demise of the Warriors, and this is how it all started.
Sports are for young people. You hope to have a great long career, but sports, nobody wins when they're 37, 38.
But you said what you said. I want to hear if he believes what you're talking. Yeah, I mean, I think the goal is just to not look like you in the Houston Rockets uniform.
Yeah.
Is ultimately the goal for us. Like, we don't want to.
What does that look like?
Did you see it?
I'm just asking.
I saw it. I mean, so, you know.
All right, that's kind of the point. I don't think Charles heard him. I don't think Charles was listening to him because Charles said yeah to that point
He
where
really
it sounded
did.
like it
Yes.
agreed with him, but I don't think that he did. because then Kenny stepped up and was like, well, tell me about it then,
Right.
Draymond.
How was that?
If you're going to go to that point. Kenny knew right away that was a low blow.
Yes.
And then Draymond had the decision to make. Do you stick with it, or do you apologize and make a U-turn? Well, he's not going to make an apology and make a U-turn. He stuck with it, said what he had to say, and moved on. And after that, there wasn't a huge back and forth where Chuck took offense.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone else, I felt on social media, took offense to what Draymond Green said, because what Draymond Green said, not only was it classless, Monse, it was factually incorrect when you look at Charles Barkley's tenure with the Houston Rockets.
Immediately when he said that, I was like, first of all, did you watch Charles Barkley? Like, really watch him? Because we're around the same age, Draymond Green and I.
Yeah.
And I have images of my brothers watching Charles Barkley. One of my brothers, Gus, hey, what's up? One of his favorite players, if not his favorite player, was Charles Barkley. And so I didn't have like images of him or memories of him being bad as a Rocket. If anything, I just remember him still carrying a team and being the guy. And that's what's funny about Draymond Green. Draymond Green talks a lot like he's the guy when he just was on a team that had the guys. And kind of like Austin Rivers pointed out, like you got very lucky to be in a situation where you're surrounded by all of these Hall of Famers in different ways, but he tends to speak like he's the guy. And I don't know if it's ever going to be something that can be corrected in his brain, because he's not the guy. He's not. And we don't need to talk about the championships because everybody knows Charles Barkley didn't win one. But let's talk about the All-NBAs. Let's talk about the All-Stars. Let's talk about the MVP. Let's just talk about being a guy who's carrying a team, not a guy who's number 4 on a team. A great part of a team, of a dynasty, but you were not the guy.
Charles Barkley, you mentioned his resume there. Charles Barkley did things that Draymond Green will never hear of. And the problem that I see with Draymond and what is happening is because he's saying these things trying to be he's trying to be Draymond is what he's trying to be. And he is now doing harm to his own reputation and his own career, because I think that a lot of us would appreciate what Draymond did in his career as a defensive player for what he did for a long time in his career, and say, you know what, that's a heck of a player. But now when Draymond is taking shots at everyone else, and to your point, talking about roles that players played that Draymond could never dream of, it makes me, you, and everyone else then say, okay, all right, let's bring out the fine-tooth comb, Draymond. Let's look at your resume. Let's look at what your Warriors have done since you won that last title in 2022. Chuck's teams with the Rockets was there 4 years. They went to the Western Conference Finals twice. They got Stockton and Malone. That's what they did. Like they were. That's who they ran into. Now, the last year didn't end right. The third year was the lockout season, I believe. But the final year of his career, it didn't pan out. But when you look at what's going on, that title for the Warriors was 2022. We're in 2026. This team made it to the playoffs a couple of times, won a series against the Kings, then were ousted from the playoffs. They only made it to the conference semifinals twice and were not competitive last year. The Timberwolves made quick work of them after it took everything for them to just beat a Houston Rockets team in the first round. And so when Draymond starts to say those things about Charles Barkley, separate of all that, it makes us look at Draymond's career a little bit more, and that's where Draymond is doing harm. It's radio. She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer. Big thanks to Spot, who's been handling the video all day long. Spot gets both wheels going and going. I said Scott because I was just looking at fertilizer for my lawn. Quickly, I'm like, I got to grab some on the way home.
We also had Scott Agnes on the show.
Yes, we did.
We've got Scott for mayor in the chat.
But you think you think I'm lying, Monse. Literally, look what I have here. Look, I'm not going to show you, but see, so there it was. Yeah, see, yeah. I am not lying. Yeah. Look, I can even show. Actually, no, I don't want to give the company, but I was looking at some Scott's fertilizer that I could pick up after the show. It is Covino and Rich here on Fox Sports Radio. Funny thing happened last night in the NBA playoffs. The Lakers lost. And so did the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the Cavaliers' loss was highlighted again by the ineffectiveness of James Harden. What was it with, like, usually a Clippers uniform makes players bad, but for James Harden, he was magnificent. And then all of a sudden now he goes other places. Is it just the playoffs for James Harden? I guess he was good down the stretch in the regular season, but last night, another stinker for the Cavaliers and losing to the Pistons.
He has had a rough going in the playoffs, I feel like, for several years. You're right. As a Clipper, he actually was really great, except for Game 5. That's his mega kryptonite, where he tends to, I don't know, just get too excited after maybe winning Games 3 and 4 and then goes partying, and Game 5 is always like a rough one. I don't know what it is, but watching the Cavaliers play this series against Detroit has been so interesting, because the Cavs, to me, look uncomfortable, like tense, like maybe, like I don't know what it is, but I see that, and then I look at the Pistons, and I feel like maybe because out of their first series that came a lot harder at them than they expected, right, against the Magic, they are starting to feel a little bit more loose with the way that they're playing. That's just like, to me, the Cavs look uncomfortable, and I did not expect that to look like this in this series. I thought the Cavs could steal one in Detroit. And then James Harden is struggling majorly when you need him to not.
And last night, his plus-minus, this doesn't tell everything, but it was minus 15. The next closest Cavalier was Max Strus, who came off the bench. His plus-minus was minus 9. James Harden's line last night, 3 of 13 in 37 minutes for 10 points. He was 0 of 4 from behind the arc, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 turnovers. And the 4 turnovers are big because, as it was pointed out by Charles Barkley and others on Inside the NBA and on other talk shows, including on Fox Sports 1, James Harden is having more turnovers than made field goals in games. And he's turning the ball over more than he is making buckets. And this now changes the narrative, Monse, that maybe a month ago or even just a few weeks ago, where James Harden has a player option for $42 million for the Cavaliers. The thought was when they acquired him, brought him over from the Clippers, that the sides would be able to agree on some sort of deal where he wouldn't exercise the player option but would get a longer-term deal for more money. Now, if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers and you're running into this roadblock and James Harden's giving you 10 points in an important game 2 and is minus 15 in his plus-minus, now you're saying, not only do we not want to give this guy $42 million, we don't want to give him more than that and have him stay around longer. So I think the conversation about James Harden and his stay in Cleveland, when this has now popped up, is changed from a month ago. And you know what that means. LeBron James and the Lakers are down 2-0 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I know you think LeBron's going to stay. I don't think he is. I think he's gone. I don't think the Lakers want him back. I don't think he wants to be back with the Lakers. Now the Cleveland Cavaliers aren't going to have James Harden. Maybe they won't have to pay him. Maybe Harden just opts out and feels he's going to get that money elsewhere. That's fine. But the Cavaliers would have a hole to fill. And it sure seems like LeBron James could have that pathway back to Cleveland, considering how these playoffs are now playing out.
You know, Dan, life is unfair. So I'm going to tell you what's going to happen in games 3 and 4. James Harden is going to go off. He's going to hit a game winner.
Really?
And then,
mark that down.
Mark that down.
We are in next week on Fox Sports Radio. Game winner for James Harden, 5:30 Eastern Time, 2:30 Pacific, said by Monse Bolaños.
And that's what he does. He reels you back in, and you're like, oh, maybe we can do this with James Harden. Maybe he just had the bad 1-2 game, but no, he just helped us win. Now the series is tied. We can do this with James Harden. That's what's gonna happen. And so this clear path that you see in Dan's world,
yeah, it's becoming much more clear. It's much more clear.
It's not. And with LeBron, again, I really don't see LeBron. I get what you're saying. Like, it would be a very storybook ending for LeBron to go back to Cleveland. I don't think I'm not against it at all. I just think LeBron, out of pride and out of spite and out of just the crowning of himself, that he's going to be like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay right here. And misery loves company. I don't care.
Listen, LeBron has shown his willingness to leave. And LeBron has shown his best options.
But because he wants to leave, not because someone's shoving him out.
He won't stay out of spite. He will go to a place that was his home. That when he left in 2018 after that season, both sides were kind of done with it. Everybody was ready to move on. He was, all right, that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
This has kind of ran its course. We're not going to beat the Warriors. Let's just kind of move on. And so they did. And it was understood, and it was okay. And that, I think, allows him to go back to Cleveland. I had thought that there was a possibility, and I don't think that this was I don't think that this was just coincidence. Because, again, I don't think anything that LeBron does is coincidence. But when the Lakers retired or may had the statue of Pat Riley, LeBron was there. And Pat Riley and LeBron had a falling out when LeBron left Miami. But I thought it was LeBron. I thought it was great that he was there, first of all, because he should be, because of their history. But I also felt it was a way to be like, okay, if I needed to go back to Miami, maybe this is a way of showing it. And I don't think that there were pathways back to Cleveland, really. I felt like with their core, you're like, okay, specifically with Mobley and Mitchell, you're like, this is the crew that's going to need to move on. And if you bring in LeBron, it's just going to disrupt it. But you can't tell me that LeBron wouldn't help this Cavaliers team. You can't tell me that if you swapped him out for James Harden, that the Cavaliers would at least be able to make it work a little bit better than a minus 15. And to have LeBron James now take his narrative where he's kind of the villain now, right? LeBron isn't loved.
Sure.
Now you go back home, wanted back home. This is what I'm talking about. This is why the smoke is starting to clear. The pathway for him to return to Cleveland, and we saw it last night as both teams are down 2-0, is just getting clearer by the minute.
I don't know if Cleveland wants LeBron. And I hear what
you're
saying.
They didn't before.
And right now we're using 2 games where James Harden completely, him not just turning the ball over, but him not hitting shots makes it a lot harder for Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell to do anything, because when James Harden is bad, he is bad. Like, nothing is working for him. And so we're looking at it from these 2 games, but in reality, when James Harden went to Cleveland, when he was traded, what did they win? 8, 9 in a row?
Yeah, they were very good.
They were very, like, it's there, but it's like playoffs come and everything changes a little bit, some for good, some for bad. And I think you may be jumping the shark a little bit on how Cleveland is looking at LeBron James or how they're looking at James Harden right now, just because of the first 2 games, because he's going to turn it around for these next 2 games at home, and then they're going to be stuck with, what do we do?
That's your prediction, and it may come true, but you can't tell me this is what Cleveland said, oh, this is what we wanted in James Harden. Like,
of course not,
like
but
the constant is the
history
same
repeats
James
itself,
Harden.
so you have to know that this was a chance.
Yes, and that's why I'm saying, that's why they're like, crap. So why would they like want more in on it? Why would they? And maybe you're not saying that James Harden's wanted back, but this was the scenario for Cleveland. James Harden not showing up in the playoffs, or James Harden being a hindrance in the playoffs. And he is again. And he is throughout these 2 games. And if they don't win these next 2, they're probably out of the series. Detroit's playing really good basketball. And on the LeBron side of it, you don't think LeBron looks at that bracket? Like, if the Lakers were in the East right now, right? I mean, we were talking about they could maybe make a run to the finals. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. But he looks at the Eastern Conference and be like, at least I don't have to deal with Oklahoma City. At least I don't have to deal with Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. So the path for him to get back to an NBA Finals is much easier in the Eastern Conference. And I think that he knows that. And what a way to put on his career at 42 years of age next year that he would play. I think all of these options are viable. I think you're absolutely right that there was a point that Cleveland did not want him, that they wanted the Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell era to happen. But now they may make good bedfellows, because I think they both need each other, especially if James Harden continues to throw these stinkers up in the playoffs.
I agree with you that the East obviously is a much different, smaller monster to get through when it comes to the playoffs and whatnot. But I also don't think you put LeBron there and it's like with Cleveland and it's a shoo-in. In fact, like, what if he does do that and then Cleveland still doesn't deliver? I don't know if that's how, if that helps his legacy or his what he cares about. He just cares so much about what people say about him. It's very obvious. He wants everyone to like him. And if he leaves and goes to the easier side of things and then it doesn't work out for him, I don't think that's a risk he really wants to take.
That's not a risk. He went home.
He went home because
career.
nobody wanted you. That's the narrative.
The Lakers don't want him.
Okay.
The Lakers don't want him. I think that there are a bunch of teams that would want him. I think that there's teams LeBron wouldn't want to go to. But if you can go to Cleveland, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, then it's the homecoming. That's the safety net in it. Like I came home,
but then
full circle, started in, born in Akron, started in Cleveland, ended in Northeast Ohio. That's how I'm putting my stamp on the career. It's the fairy tale ending, Monty. It is. It is. And it just didn't look like it was feasible over the last year or two. Bo Benson, am I crazy? Does it look more feasible now, that considering how these playoff series are playing out?
Way more feasible. I actually just texted former Fox Sports Radio producer and Cavs superfan Mike Mayer.
Okay, what did
I
Mike
asked
say?
him, would you take LeBron back today? Like, say they both get swept, would you go into the offseason being okay adding LeBron? In seconds, he replied, in a heartbeat. And 3 to 4 months ago, I would have said no, they need him badly.
Okay, so that means LeBron is also announcing this is his final year, because you're saying finish it at home, wrap it up. So he announces, I'm going to Cleveland, and I'm wrapping this up. Because he can't go to Cleveland and do a 3-year deal.
Well, no, you'd probably get him a 1-1.
Yeah, he could do the classic LeBron.
But he would have to announce that this is the end of it and that he's going home to finish his story in the NBA. This is the final chapter back home.
I think you could see LeBron, as I'm already putting him in a Cavs uniform in September of 2026. It's already a done deal. Play out next season, and if it doesn't turn out, and if the body breaks down or whatever it is, use the next year as a ceremonial goodbye.
Yeah, I think the idea of LeBron retiring next year was put to bed by LeBron when they asked him about his fight with Father Time, and he said that he's kicking Father Time's ass. I don't think he has any intention of retiring anytime soon.
Also, Bo, you said you thought he would be a Laker again. You agreed with me in the email.
Yeah, I think there's a chance he's still a Laker.
He's listened to my ways.
I think there's a chance he's still a Laker, but if they both get swept, I think it changes the calculus for everybody.
And that's the point of this is, you know what? If Monty and I are talking about this last night, okay, maybe we thought the Thunder were going to win, but the Cavs could have evened up the series against the Pistons.
Yeah.
Maybe James Harden has a great night. By the way, James Harden was a part of the Cavaliers' plans. I mean, just read articles over the last 2 or 3 weeks, the last month or so, on what Cleveland was hoping to do with James Harden. But after last night, I don't know how you couldn't get cold feet in feeling that way. And to see how LeBron is going out with the Lakers, when Luka then ultimately returns, the Lakers just don't want him back. They don't want to deal with it anymore. J.J. Redick wants it to be his team. Luka wants it to be his team. They are done with LeBron. They are not going to offer him a contract. There is no way he's going to be back in L.A. And Cleveland would allow LeBron that beautiful, nice, soft landing because now they actually need him. I think last night was a big turning point in the LeBron to Cleveland Part 3. She's Monse Bolaños, and she's also skeptical. I'm Dan Beyer in for Covino and Rich here on Fox Sports Radio. If you missed any of today's show, you want to catch the podcast, just search Fox Sports Radio wherever you get your podcasts. Right after the show, today's podcast will be posted. Be sure to follow the podcast, rated 5 stars. You can even provide a review. Again, just search Fox Sports Radio wherever you get your podcast, and you'll find today's full show posted right after we get off the air. Isaac Lowenkron is here with the latest today on a Friday. As we head into the weekend, Isaac, what is going on?
Yes, indeed. If there is a LeBron in Cleveland Part 3, I'm sure a Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez Part 3 are not far behind.
We can only hope.
Preview of coming attractions. A preview of coming attractions of the National Football League. New York Jets running back Breece Hall has signed a 3-year, $45 million extension. The NFL and the NFL Referees Association reached a new 7-year collective bargaining agreement through 2032. The Denver Broncos signed general manager George Payton to a new 5-year extension through 2030. The NFL, by the way, announced that the 2026 regular season schedule will be released next Thursday, May 14th. Baseball, The Athletic reports Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Blake Snell will make his season debut Saturday against Atlanta after missing the first month of the season due to left shoulder inflammation. Finally, Dan and Monse, in college football, WRAL television out of Raleigh, North Carolina reported that there is a chronic problem with the driving and parking behavior of North Carolina Tar Heel football players. At least 5 players have been cited since January, including one who's been cited at least 4 times for speeding since January, including 2 reckless driving charges, and other players been cited at least 3 times since February, including for allegedly driving over 100 miles an hour, as well as for parking in handicapped spaces. Back in November, WRAL reported North Carolina football players had been cited for 31 speeding tickets with 10 reckless driving charges. One North Carolina professor told WRAL of an interaction he had with a player.
He went 5 feet past me, stopped, revved the engine so it shot flames out the back, went around the corner, opened his window, and cursed me out.
Dan and Monse, back to you.
NIL stands for not in my lane.
That was quick.
By the way,
Well done.
all of those North Carolina players will then transfer to Georgia. Yeah, that's very appealing to Sam. You like that one?
I was waiting for the Georgia connection right there. Very good. Very good.
There
But
was going to be one. Welcome in. We are here for the jokes. She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer in for Covino and Rich here on Fox Sports Radio. The WNBA is trying something new on the launch of their new season, and plus what not to do with your uniform. She's Monse. I'm Dan in for Covino and Rich here on Fox Sports Radio. It's time to get your financial portfolio game ready. With Webull, get powerful investing tools and real-time data all in one platform.
Webull Financial LLC, member SIPC FINRA. Investing involves risk. For more information, visit webull.com/disclosures.
But J.J. Redick, the Lakers head coach, took to the defense of LeBron James in this case and talked about not necessarily the fouls that they were calling on SGA, but the fouls that they were calling on LeBron James last night, or not calling on LeBron James.
LeBron has the worst whistle of any star player I've ever seen. I mean, I've been with him 2 years now. Again, the smaller guys, because they can be theatric, they typically draw more fouls, and the bigger players that are, built like LeBron, it's hard for them. But he gets clobbered, and he got clobbered again tonight a bunch, and that's not like a new thing. That's not specific to this crew or this series. He gets fouled a lot. That doesn't happen. I mean, guy gets hit on the head more than any player I've seen on drives, and it rarely gets called.
And I get what J.J. Redick is doing there. I'm not going to dissect his words. I think Shaquille O'Neal had the worst whistle in all of NBA history because he was just so massive.
Right. You didn't know how to guard him. You didn't know what to call. You're like, is that a foul?
Yes, right.
He's just I can't tell.
He could have maybe shot 60 free throws a night if you wanted to
Right.
at times.
Yeah.
So moving that aside, and JJ Redick's got a pretty good sample of watching basketball, but he's sticking up for his guy, and then at the end, that's why you hear him say, like, this has happened for a long time. I also think, Monse, that this is the Lakers' way of trying to salvage a series that they very likely needed to win one of these two games, because just winning 4 out of 5 against Oklahoma City isn't going to happen, and it sure doesn't look like Luka Doncic is coming back. This may be J.J. Redick trying to set things up for games 3 and 4, being like, we're going to be at home. LeBron gets a bad whistle. Maybe it's our opportunity to change things. I just think ultimately that the Lakers are just they're frustrated last night because they know that they're not better, to your point.
Mm-hmm.
And so now if you're not getting the calls as you perceive to be, it adds to the frustration. I just have absolutely no sympathy for the Laker fans who are complaining about the whistle last night, considering the whistles that this organization has gotten over the last 30 years in the NBA.
Yeah, I don't know if JJ Redick knows this, but Adam Oslin, who hosts a show here on Friday nights, early Saturday mornings, he tweeted. So thank you, Adam. The Lakers took 157 more free throw attempts than the next closest team this year. In the last 5 years, they've taken 938 more free throw attempts than the next closest team. So what are you talking about, JJ? What are you talking about? I also feel like they did this for maybe a little sympathy, right? And the Laker fan base, I think, is a little split. There are some that are like, you're right, coach. We don't have a whistle, and they get all the whistles. And then there's the other side of the Laker fan base. They're like, you're embarrassing us. Can you not act like that? Can you walk away with your head held high in a loss? Can you stop it? Like, I feel like it's split on how they handled it. Because, yes, we know, whatever. We've talked about the OKC Thunder and how they maybe flop. Last year, it was Foul Merchant, MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like, we get all this. But, again, the Thunder are a much better team. So it's like, go out with your head held high.
It is Decision 2026. Laker fan Bo Benson on staff as our executive producer today. Bo Benson, what side are you on? Are you embarrassed or are you enraged at the calls that the Lakers haven't gotten in these NBA playoffs?
Can I take both sides?
Oh, no, you can't. Nope,
No.
don't have the votes canceled.
No.
You decide. Decision 2026.
Yeah, no, they're not going to get any sympathy. You're the Lakers. That's just how
Thank
it
you.
is.
Yes.
You're not going to ever get anybody's sympathy, even though I think they're right. It's infuriating to watch Oklahoma City play basketball because they are so much better than everybody else. They don't need to play like that, but they do, and it sucks to watch.
Covino and Rich here on Fox Sports Radio. She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer. Time now for our Tire Rack play of the day. For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Shipped fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Our Tire Rack play of the day, courtesy of WWLS and the Thunder Radio Network.
Back to Reeves, 4 to shoot. Barreling into Holmgren, falls down. Loses the ball. Just says, I'll take that. Up the left side to Wallace. Reeves behind the play. It's 5-on-4. Caston to the trailing Holmgren. Feeds J. Will open. Angle right three-pointer. Count it. Cha-ching, Thunder money behind. He's fouled. And one coming. Oh, baby. You got to love it.
Cha-ching.
They did love it. Again, on the Thunder Radio Network. That was the other Jalen Williams. By the way, it's not a put down, but he is the other Jalen Williams with that three. The other Jalen Williams didn't play last night. Thunder up 2-0 in our Tire Rack play of the day. Before we get to the WNBA launching their version of City Edition uniforms, if you will, Bo Benson, you've got a bone to pick with the Los Angeles Rams because the Rams have released a new updated logo and identity, but you wouldn't know by what they've been putting out lately.
No, they refreshed their brand, which I would admit looks a lot better, I think. I love the solid color main logo. I love the fixes to the Rams head. And the jerseys look like they should have looked, 5 years ago now when they initially redid it. However, yeah, you wouldn't know because every single picture the Rams have posted out of minicamp, nobody is wearing anything with the new branding on it.
Don't have it yet.
Ty Simpson was at Rams camp for the first time as a member of the team, not wearing anything new.
I don't understand how they can, like a Dick's Sporting Goods can get a leak of a new jersey in mid-February of a team, yet to his point, here we are in May and they have to wear the old stuff.
And what better way to promote new stuff than with your new players?
Yes.
Like, seems like such a dumb, a missed marketing opportunity that could start right now.
I don't know how it happens. Like, there are certain things. I remember I was at an NFL training camp. This was years ago. And you know those hurdles, like you would run in track, just a hurdle,
Sure.
but they're all connected. So there's like a string of 5 of them, and it's just one big thing. So maybe you have, you're just going over there. You're not sprinting and running and doing that. You're just going over each of them. The logo of the team. And this was a few years back, but this is like 2010s. It was the logo that they used in the 1990s.
Why?
Well, that's what I wondered. And I thought to myself, not only have you not gotten a new sled or, train of hurdles, you haven't even changed the stickers on it. The color of the helmet was different, and it was just, wow, this is when you're a multimillionaire, and again, as the future owner of the Seahawks, I'll buy them for $8.5 billion. This is something I would take care of, but this is how I guess certain NFL owners want to cut corners. I don't know how the NFL could do something like that, especially for Ty Simpson to wear gear that he's never going to wear when he becomes a professional.
Everyone needs to follow in the steps of Oregon football. Their stuff is always great.
That is true.
And it's always out there for you to be enticed to buy it.
Yes.
That's what I mean by that. It's like, I'm not an Oregon fan, but damn, that is cute. Damn, I do kind of like that.
Did you see the lines for the Oregon end of the year when they give away all their stuff or it's all discounted? Like, it was a mile line. They have a lottery where you grab a ticket, and if you get that ticket, you could be one of the first ones in there. But of all of their stuff that they're getting rid of that I think you can buy at a discounted price from the athletic department, it's just miles long. And you're right. It does look cool. I mean, you're absolutely right. You say everybody should be like Oregon, and I'm saying everybody should be Alabama. They should have 2 uniforms like that. That's it.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying with that.
With the marketing and the push of it.
Yes, absolutely. And you're right. A lot of their stuff does look good. I like the Oregon stuff that's the bright green and yellow from the 90s.
Sure.
Even though it's modernized. Are you a fan of that, Sam?
Yep. I like their 90s look.
Yeah, so when they go to the platinum and black stuff, I'm not a huge fan of that. But again, I'm not a 20-year-old, wide receiver or running back or linebacker. And that's who they're catering to. But I get it when you say that they're cool.
They also had one with pink that I was like, that's the one for me. But again, I'm not an Oregon fan. So
well, the WNBA is going with their new jerseys made by Nike. And I don't even know the Rebel Edition is what they're calling it. When I don't even know your regular jersey and you're throwing in a new jersey, what's the point? It does me no good.
And they look, some of them, because Bo sent us this, they look the same. The colors are the same.
It makes absolutely no sense. Yeah. Then again, that's Nike.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best.
You were dating some girl, and you were like,
Hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense.
her mom walked in.
Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say. It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during
can't.
a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
In the NFL, New York Jets running back Breece Hall has agreed to a 3-year, $45 million extension. The NFL and the NFL Referees Association reached a new 7-year collective bargaining agreement through 2032. The Denver Broncos signed general manager George Payton to a new 5-year contract through 2030. The NFL announced the 2026 schedule will be released next Thursday, May 14th. ESPN reports the sale of the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks is drawing softer than expected interest. The Green Bay Packers today released veteran place kicker Brandon McManus. Baseball, The Athletic reports Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Blake Snell will make his season debut Saturday against Atlanta after missing the first month of the season due to left shoulder inflammation. Tonight at 7 Eastern, Game 3 of the NBA's Eastern Conference semifinals from Philly with the Knicks leading the Sixers 2-0. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
Oh, it is about that time. You're heading into the weekend. Maybe you're in the Midwest Central Time Zone. 5 o'clock is quitting time.
Friday.
6 o'clock on the East Coast.
Friday.
You're already home. Getting ready for a couple of days of fun.
Today's Friday.
We're here on the West Coast. Couple more hours to go. One more hour for us and for Covino and Rich here, Monse.
That's
on
right.
Fox Sports Radio.
And the NBA playoffs are here, Dan. The NBA playoffs and DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Right now, use the promo code CRSHOW to claim your special offer at DraftKings. Again, that's promo code CRSHOW at DraftKings. The crown is yours.
I appreciate it when people chime in. They don't always have to agree with me, but what I do appreciate when they disagree is they're cordial.
Yes.
Chris says, Dan, the Lakers were 14-2 before Luka suffered his injury. LeBron accepted the third man role and was thriving. You're writing off a return to the Lakers way too soon. They'll take him back on a lesser deal. Monty writes 100.
100. That's
what
right.
What other options did LeBron James have?
He doesn't have many. He really doesn't. And when I
No, but I mean, like to accept that third man role. And by the way, I would say that he's second man. Like I know Austin Reeves is great. I almost called him Austin Rivers.
You love that.
Well, it's just been the names have been in the news, but still, I just don't think that they want that for the long term. I don't think Luka wants that. I don't think JJ Redick wants that. I don't think Rob Pelinka wants that.
100%, and I agree with that one. The whole thing about the Lakers do not want him for more than a year. But one thing I said here, either next to you, maybe I was sitting next to Marian, I don't know. But if LeBron does make an announcement like this is my final year, the Lakers will take him because that would be great marketing for the Lakers. And I think that's a big part of it.
I don't think the Lakers need marketing. They're the most popular team in the league.
I understand, but that's a perfect opportunity to send him off like that.
Yeah, I don't think that LeBron wants to do the Lakers any favors. I don't think that he. I don't think he has
LeBron just
any
wants
desire.
to be accepted by the Lakers, like everybody.
I think LeBron wants to be liked by everybody, but if he feels like he's being shunned or has been shunned or turned off by them, I think he has no. He will have no reason to part ways. I'm trying to figure out the great phrase that I was trying. He wouldn't pause for a second to turn his back on them. He wouldn't hesitate.
Yeah.
You wrong him in a way, and I feel like he feels that he's been wronged in a way that he will end up moving on. He hasn't been embraced. He knows that. He won't admit that. But and now with Luka and it being Luka's team, I think he understands that.
But all he's gonna say is like, "Do you know who I am? I am LeBron James. I go wherever I want, and I want to be here. I want to be here."
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great world to live in. It's just not the world we live in.
But his world is surrounded by yes people. Like in his world, I'm LeBron James. I can do what I want, and I want to be here.
There are only a select few teams that he could go to.
Yes. Or that he would want to go to. Right?
Sure.
Lakers, Cavs, Knicks.
Yeah. Philadelphia, maybe.
I don't know. And people want to throw Clippers on there, but I think they just want to talk smack to me because they're like, take LeBron on your Clippers team. And I'm like, no, gracias.
I don't think.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
I think you're in the neighborhood with that one. Speaking of which, it's time to play In the Neighborhood here on Fox Sports Radio.
I love this game.
Let's crank up those tunes. In the Neighborhood is a fun game that I host that is made up of two teams competing against each other. Team Iowa today is made up. You guys in your matching shirts. It looks ridiculous. It does.
We're going to get you one, Dan. We're going to get you one. You can join us.
I'm in a Caitlin Clark sandwich on the live stream. It makes me hungry. No, we just had pizza here. Iowa Sam
I'm stuffed. I have
and Monse Bolaños.
no appetite.
Yeah,
now.
but Sam's full. Don't worry.
Full of dough.
Monse and Iowa Sam teaming up against Isaac Lowenkron and Bo Benson. You guys will make up the other team in a game of In the Neighborhood. Usually it would be Anchor against that room, like Monse and Isaac, but Isaac didn't wear his Caitlin Clark shirt today, so that's why Monse and Sam are on the same team.
It's the Caitlin Clarks versus Bowenkron.
Bowenkron.
Bowenkron. I like that.
I like that a lot.
Very good.
Are you guys ready to play In the Neighborhood? The game goes like this. First to 5, I'd like you to win by 2. If we run out of questions and there's a tie, we'll have a tiebreaker at the end.
Okay.
I give you a topic, and I give you a range of numbers that you have to get that answer. If you get it within the range, you get the point. If not, if you're outside the range, either high or low, you don't get the point, and we move on. I have a list of 12 questions pertaining to stuff that's just going around nowadays. Iowa Sam and Monse, it's a ladies first here. You guys get to pick. Pick a number 1 through 12. I've got 12 different topics listed according to the number. Feel free to go whenever you're ready.
We will start with number 2.
Number 2. All right. Within one.
Within one.
The number of teams in the WNBA this season.
Sam?
The number of teams in the WNBA
What was it
this
before?
season.
I think it was 13 when they added the Valkyries.
Okay, because I was going to say 14.
Yeah, but then
Okay.
I think that they've added now. I want to say there's 16 teams now.
Can we just name them real quick? Like, just go Fever, Sparks, Wings, Lynx, Aces, Liberty,
You got it.
Connecticut,
No, Connecticut moved to, well, I don't know if this is their last year, but they're moving to Houston.
but they're still playing.
They still exist, so
So
they'll just
Sun, okay.
count one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to become the Houston Sun.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's just say the Sun. Okay. What else we got?
Well, I think.
Come on, I thought you were going to help me here.
I don't know if I can name them all, but why don't we say 16?
I don't like
Because
that.
at 13, and I think because I think if
How
there's
about 15? Because within one.
yeah, but we could actually have 17 teams if they added 3 or 4 last 4. But I don't know if they're playing. You want to say 15?
Okay, fine, 16.
16. Let's do 16.
Fine, 16.
All right. The number of NBA teams in the WNBA this season is 15. You're in the neighborhood.
Yeah, all right.
You got it by one. You would have been in the house.
I would have
with
been in the
15.
house. Okay.
All right.
They added the Toronto Tempo and the Portland Fire. this
Portland.
year.
I was thinking
Yes.
Seattle, but yeah, there's
Yes.
Pacific
All right.
Northwest.
And then
okay.
there will be teams moving on or being added over the next couple of years. And you mentioned Connecticut moving to Houston.
All right.
All right.
Great
At
job,
some
Monse.
point.
Way to go.
1 point for Monsam. Now let's go over to Bowen Cron.
Bowen Cron.
Pick a
Damn,
number.
that's so good.
1 through 12. 2
Bo.
has been taken.
Bo, pick.
7.
7. Within 2. How many goals have the Colorado Avalanche scored in their 6th playoff games this postseason?
I know they scored 9 in one of them. So, like hockey teams, let's say a good team averages 3 goals per game. So that gives me 24. What's your ballpark kind of there?
They've scored so much.
Yeah. By
I
the
would
way, is
go-
it me or did they get a much easier question than us?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, we're going to answer in much less time.
You picked number 7.
Yeah.
So.
Lucky,
I wanna
unlucky
say-
number 7.
That's
It's a-
the onus is on you. The
It's
number you
within
pick.
2.
Within 2.
I would say like they've scored like 28.
28. So
They
you want to
scored a
split the
ton.
difference and say 26?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go 26. And again, for the record, notice how less comparable time it took us to answer a much more difficult question. You're welcome, America.
And you got the same outcome. You got it right. 27 goals.
Wow.
So you have between 25
Bo.
and 29 on that one.
Bowen Cron, Nosencron.
All right, we're going to keep it with Bowen Cron here. Then you guys will get the next 2 after that. Bowen Cron, pick another number.
You can go again, Bo.
Let's do 9.
Number 9. Within $500,000.
Oh.
The prize money won by 2025 PGA Championship winner Scottie Scheffler for that victory last season. How much was his winning check for winning the PGA Championship? You just saw a promo on ESPN. So how much did Scottie Scheffler get for winning the PGA Championship last year within $500,000?
And we can't phone a friend and phone you, Dan. Huh?
No,
All
you
right.
cannot.
All right, so right off the bat, I'm going to guess $2 million. That's my random guess. What about you?
Yeah, that's fine with me. I have no idea, but that sounds about right.
Okay, again, notice how quickly we worked out an answer.
And so that's between $1.5 and $2.5 million.
Yes, let's do it.
He won $3.42 million for that win, which, by the way, pales in the comparison to the 4.5 Rory McIlroy just won at the Masters last month. $4.5 million for the win, but it was $3.42 million. All right, advantage Monsam. Tied up at 1 apiece. You guys get the next 2 questions. The numbers you need to pick from are 1 through 12, except 2, 7, and 9 have been taken.
All right. Sam, go.
4.
4. Within 1, how many times was Draymond Green named All-NBA in his 14-year NBA career? How many times was Draymond Green named All-NBA in his 14-year NBA career? This isn't Defensive Player of the Year. That's not this. This is All-NBA.
You said within 1?
Yes, within 1.
And All-NBA, this includes like the
First, second, and third
Okay,
team.
all
Yep.
of those, right? Okay.
Within 1.
I have no idea. I swear I just thought it was like 2 times, but I think that's low.
I think that's low. I originally wanted to say 4, and I thought that was low because of the 3, first, second, and third.
Right.
I want to go with like 6.
I think 6 is a good.
Yeah? You want to go with 6?
I think we might land in the neighborhood with 6.
Yeah. We'll
Okay.
take
You guys
6.
good with that within 1? Draymond Green was named All-NBA twice during his 14-year NBA career. Somebody said 2. Was it Sam?
It was Sam, and I said 4. I was like, that seems low. Wow. Wow, Draymond.
It's
really?
like-
You definitely be talking like you won more.
All right.
Well, you remember you'll see something and you're like it'll just stay in your brain. But you're like I don't know if that's right, but I saw it.
I really can't believe it was only twice.
I know.
Like, that's shocking to me.
But think about it. For how we've talked about Draymond and all the players, I mean, Steph and Clay were getting first, second or third team. So to have 3 Golden State Warriors take up 15 of those spots would be a lot.
Wow.
All right. Moving on. You guys have another question. Don't pick
redemption
questions
time.
2, 4, 7, or 9.
12.
12. All right. Going to the bottom of my page here. Within 1. How many times was Iowa Sam featured in a slide in the 20 slide going away post by Ryan Bersinger on Instagram? So, of the 20 slides within 1.
You were and I were in 1 together. Then you were in the Disney one. That's 2.
I'm just gonna. I think the number I'm thinking is like 6 out of 20.
But can you remember your pictures?
Yeah, I kind of saw.
Okay.
I kind of subconsciously tallied how many I was in.
Okay, so you actually thought this through. You're not just
subconsciously.
Subconsciously, he means he went through it and he counted in each one.
And then
he knows the exact
I'm
number.
there.
He just can't say it because it would look bad on him for knowing it. That is exactly
if
what
I guess
happened.
6 and then it's something else, then I'll be embarrassed. But I would say 6 within 1. You said
within 1.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
6 out of 20.
6 out of the 20. Sam appeared in 5 out of the 20.
Nice!
So
All
you
right,
are in the
Sam.
neighborhood.
Good job. Way to remember.
There was the poster board where Sam was on it 2 or 3 times, but that was only 1 slide, so that only counted once.
Gotcha.
So 1 point for Monsam. And back around to Bowenkron.
What's the score now?
2-1. Monsam leads
All
Bowenkron.
right.
Bowenkron, you get the next 2 answers or next 2 questions here. These are the numbers that are available to be picked. Question 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, and 11.
How about 1? Is that okay with you, Bo?
Let's do 1.
All right.
Within 1, the number of seasons Paul George has played in the NBA.
Ew. For some reason, I'm at about, I want to say 16 for me. It actually could be more than that, but I don't want to taint your thinking.
No,
Bo.
that sounds right.
All right.
We're talking like you open Basketball Reference, it says he's played from here
Yes,
to here.
that's
not
exactly what
okay.
it is.
Yeah, I think
that's how I
16
got
is
the
about
number.
right.
All right, let's try
Yeah.
16.
You're not in the neighborhood. You're in the house. It's 16 on the head. Congratulations. You got that one right.
Woohoo.
Good job. I was surprised. I don't know why I thought it was like 12, but then
Because he's been injured so much and misses.
Yeah, I
and-
think 12 might have been the number of playoff failures.
Yeah. Ah.
Bowenkron has evened it up. All right. Questions 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, and 11 at your disposal in a 2-2 ball game.
3?
Yeah, 3's cool.
Within 1, how many times was Charles Barkley named All-NBA in his 16-season NBA career?
I want to say 11. That's just what jumps out at me, Bo.
Yeah, that sounds about right. 11.
You
That's
good
cool.
with that?
Yeah.
You guys are quick. And you guys are in the house again. It was exactly 11.
I knew that one.
Wow.
I did know that one, Sam. We could have gotten that one.
11. Compared
Again, notice how quickly Bo and I answer, and our range is always 1/2 a picosecond, and we're still doing great.
Up 3-2. That was also, those were back-to-back with the Draymond Green question.
Correct.
So, again, if you're a Draymond backer, you may want to plug your ears. All right, back over to Monsam. 5, 6, 8, 10, and 11 as you trail 3-2.
Just give us 5.
Sure.
Within 20, how many players will tee it up in next week's PGA Championship at Aronimink? What's the number of players in the field? How many players will play golf at the PGA Championship next week within 20? I am so glad you got this question. Not that Isaac and Bo would know exactly. It's just
that we'd have to get it within 2, right, Bo?
No, hey, you guys had $500,000 to play with. I will say that.
Thank you.
I am curious on how big you think these tournament fields are.
Okay, so
What are we going to say, Sam? Let's go.
The Masters, I believe, is a smaller field. It's like 50 to 60. So I want to say this is 80 to 100. So maybe
I wanted to say more than that. I
don't know. I think we should go with like 100. 120.
120 would get us to 140 and 100.
Yeah. Do you want to do 120 then?
You think it's less than 100?
No, I think it's closer to being. It's more likely to be over 100.
120?
120.
120.
You good with 120?
I guess so.
154 players will tee it up next week at the PGA Championship. You were 14 away. You would have said 134. You would have been in the range.
This just in, 15 players withdraw from next week's tournament.
All right.
I don't mean to burst your bubble. They would just find 15 alternates to fill the Masters usually gets about 80 to 90.
Oh, okay.
Like that's
I thought
about
it was,
what it's. But you're right.
After cut day, I'm thinking it's what, 50?
Yeah.
So I was thinking about the wrong.
You're
number.
in the neighborhood. You're in the neighborhood on that.
All right.
Doesn't help us.
Monsam.
Wrong neighborhood.
Come on, Sam.
We've got 4 questions available.
Do we get another? Is it back to them?
It's you
still
guys.
us.
You guys
All
are
right.
in control.
All right.
6, 8, 10, or 11.
What's the score again?
It's 3-2. Bo and Cron against Monsam. It's Covino and Rich here on Fox Sports Radio. A game of In the Neighborhood. Seeing how close these teams can get to the topics that I fill them in on.
Monse, you pick one.
6, 8, 10, or 11.
Let's go 8.
Within 2, the number of teams playing in the opening round of the 76-team NCAA tournament. So the number of teams that will play on the Tuesday and Wednesday of the tournament under the new format.
Sam?
Within 2.
It's 76 now?
Yes, that's the number now, correct. But he's asking about
How many teams are playing in the Tuesday and Wednesday opening round game?
That's like an SAT question, by the way.
But it is 76.
Yeah, so wouldn't it be 12? Because it'll whittle the field down to 64 when they start, So wouldn't it be 12 teams?
I like that. I like that.
12,
I like
76?
that. I like that.
12?
Sure.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
I can see why you would say 12.
It's not.
What?
But you have to actually count for the 12 teams that win. There are 24 teams that will be playing in those games. Yes, because you'll have 3 games a day featuring 6 teams.
SAT question?
Yes, right?
That's it. I'm taking this
24 was the answer.
personal here. Sam, we should be in sync with our shirts. We're not.
This allows Bo and Cron to win the game
But they're not.
if you get these next 2 right.
James Harden it right now.
Will they get them right? Find out next here on Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer. Isaac Lowenkron, Bo Benson, Iowa Sam, all hanging out on this Friday. I'll tell you what, these questions that are remaining, darn good ones. You're not going to want to miss it. She's Monse. I'm Dan. And for CNR here on FSR. Every sports season is built on preparation, studying the trends and making the necessary adjustments to reach the ultimate goal.
Investing deserves the same approach. With Webull, you'll have access to real-time market data, advanced tools, and an intuitive app designed to help you make informed decisions.
Whether you're actively trading stocks, options, ETFs, and more, or planning for the long term for you and your family with IRAs, cash management, and custodial accounts for children, Webull gives you the tools to invest your way all in one platform.
Looking to take your preparation to the next level? Check out Webull's Learn resources and join their in-app community feed to discuss investing trends and happenings alongside 25 million users globally.
And now to help streamline your trading activities and elevate your strategy, try Vega, Webull's personal market AI assistant that can give real-time analysis, watch list insights, and alerts when earnings drop.
So get your financial portfolio game ready by downloading the Webull app today or visiting Webull.com.
Webull Financial LLC, member SIPC FINRA. Investing involves risk. For more information, visit Webull.com/disclosure.
Let's hear from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because there's more to this, what SGA had to say in defending on why his team ends up getting the whistle and maybe why the Lakers didn't on Thursday night.
The way basketball works, usually the more physical team and the team that imposes their will more just wins. And that's probably why we won tonight, probably why we won last game. We did a good job, especially in the second half, of really playing our style of basketball, being physical, pressuring them.
It is playoff basketball. Victor Wembanyama talked about it in Game 2 and when the Spurs won on why they ended up having more success. Jared Allen talked about it last night for the Cavaliers on why they haven't been able to get past the Pistons in these first two games and what's different. Why are things more of a struggle for them offensively than they were in the regular season? And he says this is playoff basketball. And Monse, I feel, as the future owner of the Seahawks, I feel like I'm qualified to use this example. The Legion of Boom were the most physical secondary that maybe we've seen in NFL history. And one of their defenses, the referees cannot call a penalty on every single play. Now, I think that the Seahawks were really good. And I thought that Earl Thomas was able to make plays that other safeties couldn't make. Cam Chancellor was going to hit you like other safeties wouldn't hit you. Richard Sherman was going to lock you down. Their defensive line getting pressure at the quarterback also made things easier on the Legion of Boom. But there were penalties. They were physical. They were bigger wide receivers in the way that it makes it look. And that's exactly what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is saying. The tougher, the more physical team is going to get it done, and they're not going to get whistles every time. I mean, there was a point last night in defense of those who are saying that the Lakers aren't getting any calls, where there was a review on a foul on Austin Reeves, and not only was it changed to, I believe, a flagrant one on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on a hook play, on a grabbing of the arm. So it goes from one side, and then you're looking at it the complete other way and saying, oh, now that we looked at it, not only was it not a foul on you, it was a foul on them, and it was a more flagrant foul. However, you're not doing that every play. And I think that Oklahoma City understands that. And it's frustrating because the Lakers aren't necessarily built that way to play that way. Even if they're getting more of the free throws, to the point of Adam's tweet, they're getting more of the whistle. Now the whistle is maybe swallowed a little bit or changed a little bit when it comes to – and a playoff road game, by the way, not surprising in the NBA.
I was going to say, this is part of it.
Yeah.
Once it gets to the postseason, that whistle does tend to slightly change a little bit, and it tends to favor the home team. That's not new information. I will say that even though I like the comparison, I think it's a little different because I feel like in football, it's like, we want tough. Like, we want you to, knock someone out. We want you to hit them hard. We want you to be physical. I feel like in the NBA, that physicality is not the same. And the physicality is like being in your pocket the entire time is a physicality that you can bring to the NBA because you're not supposed to hit anybody, right? But it's literally breathing on your neck. And OKC does that throughout the regular season. Now maybe they're just breathing in your neck with onion breath. I don't know what it is, but they've definitely taken it to the next level. But that physicality is not exactly the same. And what people are more annoyed about, it's the dramatic antics that the Thunder tend to do in a lot of their plays.
Yeah. I think that gets under people's skin. But on the flip side of that, and you know this, you hit 7 threes in a high school game
I sure
once.
did. And then I got a technical because I kept my hand up.
When Lou Dort is in your face, right, like 35 feet away from the basket, it's A, annoying, but B, he's also likely fouling you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just that they won't call it at that point. So, like, if a player is up, as we would say, in your jock, 99% of the time they're doing that, it is a foul. But you can't call it every single time. And so now as the offensive player, you get frustrated, you got to adjust. Maybe you do something that gets careless with the basketball, and then it gets in their heads. And I feel that was the case with the Lakers last night. To your point that, again, they shot 5 fewer free throws than Oklahoma City.
And you know who shot the most free throws? Austin Reeves.
Covino and Rich here on Fox Sports Radio. She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer. We were in for Stu Gotts and Company earlier today. So we're here wrapping up a 4-hour marathon event here with a fun game of In the Neighborhood here on Fox Sports Radio.
For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Isaac Lowenkron will have an update for us in a bit, but right now he's got other matters to tend to. Gesundheit. When people saw you on the live stream on YouTube, they were giving you Gesundheits as well with their sneezing.
I don't know why I get allergic sometimes in here. Maybe it's just because you said that LeBron was going to go be Cleveland.
We had pizza today. And I do think LeBron's going to Cleveland next year. And now it's everything is
allergic
going
to
clear. But I've got so much salt in me right now. My water's, and somebody left the freezer open, so all the ice melted. But we're don't worry, we're getting by here.
We're doing
at
great.
Fox Sports Radio. 3-2. Bowen Cron leads Monsam here on Fox Sports Radio. And Bowen Cron, you have the honor of the next 2 questions of In the Neighborhood. If you're just joining us, 12 questions are on the table. They're all listed 1 through 12. The teams pick a number. I give them the question, and they just have to pick the number within the range that I give them. The questions you guys have left: 6, 10, and 11. What question would you like?
How about 6 okay with you, Bo?
Yeah, it's Baker Mayfield's number. Let's do 6.
All right.
Geez.
Within 10, the number of miles between Detroit and Cleveland by plane.
Nice.
So as the bird flies directly, they're
good luck with that one.
Eastern Conference semifinal opponents. If you were to take draw a straight line between Detroit and Cleveland, how many miles separates the 2 cities?
Detroit and Cleveland by plane. All right, so between Cleveland and Pittsburgh, I think that's like 100 and 120 miles. What was our range again, Dan?
Within 10.
Within 10?
Within 10.
What do you mean within 10?
That's pretty tough. That's a tough draw.
Within 10, how many miles between the Earth and Mars? Jeez. All right. I'm going to say, Bo, what popped into my mind, probably wrong, but okay, so the distance between LA and San Francisco is roughly what, 350 or something?
Why does that even matter? You're like,
I'm trying for perspective.
A plus B
Okay,
plus C.
National Geographic. Jeez.
Hurry up. Time's
Let's
a
see.
ticking.
How many miles between Iowa and Poughkeepsie? Anyway, Bo, what do you think?
Let's just say 300.
I was actually going to say 300 too. So let's 300.
Okay, so 290 to 310. The number of miles between Detroit and Cleveland, if you were to fly as the bird does, is 90 miles.
90.
Yes.
90?
Just across Lake Erie. You're going to have to go over Canada a little bit, but when you look at the map, yes, basically Lake Erie, Cleveland's on the shores of Lake Erie, and Detroit practically is.
So do airlines like fly there and it takes them like 10 minutes?
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
probably don't even get out the drink tray.
Yeah.
Now you got to go around the lake. You got to go through Toledo and all the way around if you were to drive there. But if you were to fly there,
Wait a minute.
quick flight.
If I go in June, it's $269 for like a 1-hour flight? Give me Spirit Airlines. I'm looking at the flights right
Bankrupt.
now.
You can't go Spirit.
Yeah, I know.
All right,
They're faster walking.
Bo and Cron unable to cash in. However, the good news, you had the lead and you still have control.
Oh, all right.
This is important because if you don't get this, it allows Monse to stay alive and force a tiebreaker. Would you like question 10 or question 11?
Bo, 10 okay with you?
Yeah, let's do 10.
All right.
All right. Within 1 percentage point.
Oh, jeez.
The likelihood Oklahoma City lands the first overall pick in the draft lottery on Sunday. Oklahoma
Within a
City
percentage
has
point?
the Clippers pick
Uh-huh.
by 1 percentage point.
Well, okay, wait a minute. So just for background, so they have that pick plus their own pick?
They have the it's
the Clippers.
Yes. they
Okay,
just have
so
it,
that would be out of the okay.
1.5.
Gotcha. Okay, works for me.
it is 1.5%. Bo and Cron, the winner.
They
Isaac giving you the is that a discount double check?
Flag on the play.
I was going to say within 2 and then make you think that it was higher, but no fooling Bo.
No fooling Bo.
Atta Bo.
All right, Bo and Cron wins by a score of 4-2. Do you guys want to grab the final question? Just
Yeah, for fun.
Sure, for fun.
Within 1, how many times was Monse featured in a slide in the 20 slide going away post by Ryan Bershinger on Instagram?
I don't know
This was the
answer.
Fox Sports Radio one.
Because I thought you were talking about the board.
No, I was talking about the 20-piece slide.
There was a 20-piece slide?
Bershinger put it up on Instagram, yeah.
Oh.
Slideshow.
I'm going to say.
And Sam knew he was in 5 times, but he didn't want to admit it, so he purposely got it wrong, but didn't get it wrong enough that he would lose the question. That is exactly what happened.
I don't know. 3? I'm going to guess 3. I really don't know.
Sam,
Are we guessing?
Well, it's just for fun.
Just
yeah.
for
How many times?
Monse, within how many?
Within 1. So if you were featured in 5 times, how many times was Monse?
I want to say 4.
All right, so you would be more important to Ryan Bershinger than Monse would be to him.
I think that's fair.
It is 5. You were in 5
I
times.
was?
Yes. As was Bo Benson, who was also in 5 times.
Okay.
In the slide.
See, we were all equal.
We were all equal.
Either in group pictures or smaller group pictures or even one-on-ones. It was 5, 5, and 5.
Also, some of us submitted those photos, so possibly we were in more of those photos.
Yes,
you know?
that could have been the case.
So
Yeah.
it's me and I call it me and the bees. Me, Bolaños, Bersh, Bo, Brandon, and Bree.
Yes.
We're in a number of photos together.
Why ever
And
include a buyer? Why ever include him?
Why didn't I do that?
Uninvited.
No.
All right.
And the buyer.
So there it is. Bo and Cron wins. On the other side of Isaac's update, I'm going to give you the tiebreaker question. I think Isaac's going to love it. And Isaac actually may already know the question, but I don't know if it's common knowledge for sports fans. So Isaac, give us the latest of what's happening, and we'll give you what the tiebreaker question would have been.
Well, your timing is perfect because the Philadelphia 76ers just announced that Joel Embiid will play in Game 3 of the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Knicks at the top of the hour. Embiid had been questionable because of ankle and hip injuries. The Knicks, meanwhile, ruled out OG Anunoby because of a strained right hamstring. New York leads the series 2-0. NFL, New York Jets running back Breece Hall has agreed to a 3-year, $45 million extension. The NFL and the NFL Referees Association reached a new 7-year collective bargaining agreement through 2032. The Denver Broncos signed general manager George Payton to a new 5-year contract through 2030. The NFL announced that the 2026 schedule will be released next Thursday, May 14th. And ESPN reports the sale of the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks is drawing softer than expected interest. In a related story this morning, Fox Sports Radio's Dan Beyer hit all of us up for $20 for a, quote, surprise investment, unquote. Baseball, The Athletic reports Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Blake Snell will make his season debut Saturday against Atlanta after missing the first month of the season due to left shoulder inflammation. On the field right now, the Houston Astros, a 2-0 lead at Cincinnati in the bottom of the second inning. Dan and Monse, back to you.
Isaac, stick around because I know you're a lover of hockey and the Stanley Cup, and Isaac was a diehard Kings fan when he was younger, getting so close to those Montreal Canadiens. Maybe that's why you're still cheering for the Sabres in this series coming up. But the story, the tiebreaker that I was going to pass along was Stanley Cup related.
Okay.
So the Stanley Cup, the bottom of the Stanley Cup is made up of 5 rings, right?
The base,
Isaac?
the base,
yes. The base. 5 rings. And all of those rings have the engraved names of previous teams that have won the Stanley Cup playoffs, the rosters on there. Now, as you could imagine, if they did it throughout history, there would be like 20 rings. Like the cup would be just you couldn't carry it around. So they've set the limit at 5. What they then do is when a new ring is needed, they retire the old ring and they put it in the Hockey Hall of Fame. So that's where you would see Stanley Cup bands from the 1940s and the 1950s. The tiebreaker question is, how many years does it take to retire a band of team names of the Stanley Cup?
That's a good question, Dan.
So think about it, like how many team names can they put on a band, and then you have to move on to the next one to fill it. So you think about it. So Isaac, would you have an idea of like how many team names?
I actually know the answer.
He knows the answer. So do you know what I'm talking about, Bo? I don't know. Maybe Bo's cheating or he's texting his wife. But do you know, Sam? Would you have any idea about this?
I did not know this was a thing. So, but I get what you're saying, and I'm envisioning.
And I'm going to even show you a picture of the Stanley Cup.
So a ring would get bumped to the Hall of Fame, like
when it gets full.
Yeah, well, say like it ended like the 1968 team. Like 19.
Well, if there's 5 rings at a time, wouldn't it be like 10 teams per ring?
Close. Yeah, you're very close.
So about 10 years?
By the way, when I search Stanley Cup, years, I don't mean the drink cup, okay? Like, I'm sorry, Google. I don't need pink and light blue. I don't need that thing looking at me. When I search Stanley Cup, I want to see hockey players and a big Stanley Cup. I want to see me holding it as I change the channel. And I shouldn't have to type Stanley Cup NHL in Google to get a look of the real Stanley Cup.
Lord Stanley.
Get on that, Bettman.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, guess what? $40. Quencher H2. 40-ounce Quencher H2O. No, I shouldn't have to type Stanley Cup NHL. You should have to type Stanley Cup drink. That's what you should have to type to get images of the Stanley Cup like that thing over there. Not the one that you win for winning the Stanley Cup playoffs. My goodness.
Let it out.
Oh, jeez. So here we are. There was me holding up the Stanley Cup. You see, here are the 5. Oh, jeez, I pick a picture. Look, 5 rings. There are 5 rings on the Stanley Cup. You see how this one is blank? That's where they will fill in all the names of the winners every 13 years.
13?
It's every 13 years. The next band will be added in 2031. So essentially 13 times 5 is what we're saying here. So 65 years of history on that cup, but once it's retired, it moves on and you can see it. Otherwise, Monty, this cup would be you need 3 people to hold it because it's so heavy. But so they retire a band every 13 years because the band becomes full, and then they have to add a new band to add the new champions.
I always wondered how they did it. I knew there was something because I was like, there's no way you could just keep adding. But I didn't know that was the process.
By the way, here's another potential one real quick. What would you guess is the weight of the Stanley Cup?
I mean, those guys, sometimes I feel like when they hand it over, it's not the lightest thing. I would say it's 60 pounds.
Sam?
I'm going to say 90.
34.5 pounds.
What?
Oh, okay.
I was going to say 40.
Oh.
thought
You're
it'd be
in
a
the
lot heavier.
neighborhood.
Yeah, I was within 6.
You're in the
If you would have
neighborhood.
gone kilograms, I would have been dead. There would have been no way to go.
I'm not as impressed now.
I guess people hoist it
40.
above their head. 90 pounds would be kind of tough.
I
If
could do
you're
40. I thought it was something I couldn't do over my head. I could do 40.
Again, from having to carry my 5-year-old son up the stairs way too often, when he falls asleep, or I told you this the other day, he wants me to, to carry him to bed. I'm like,
Aw.
absolutely. And because I told her, I said, those days aren't going to be forever. And so now I'm like, and we have stairs. So I'm like,
So he's throwing his back out every night.
But he's gaining like a pound every day. So
yeah,
you're like,
right.
You just keep getting heavier and heavier.
Growing and growing. So I'm like, okay, he's Stanley Cup's got to be less than a 5-year-old. But we shall see. Anyway, great guess, Isaac Lowenkron. But 13 years, that would have been the tiebreaker.
And he would have known.
And he would have known.
And he would have buzzed.
So it was meant to be for Bowenkron. She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer. Isaac Lowenkron. Have a great weekend. Bo
Great
Benson is
job.
here, our executive producer, and Iowa Sam hanging out. We are in for Covino and Rich, who will be back Monday from their vacations. You may have heard Isaac mention it in the updates, but the NFL made some news today, and the news is about making news next week. We'll talk about that next. She's Monty. I'm Dan. It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. It's time to get your financial portfolio game ready with Webull. Get powerful investing tools and real-time data all in one platform. Get started by downloading the Webull app today or visiting Webull.com.
Webull Financial LLC, member SIPC FINRA. Investing involves risk. For more information, visit Webull.com/disclosures.
My biggest takeaway is what happened in the locker room last night, where LeBron James ended up speaking on why the Lakers may have lost Game 1 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Here is the Lakers star.
Where do you think the offensive issues are coming from right now? Obviously, that's a great defense.
Issues coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a guy that averaged 37 a game. What did he average, 35 this year? 33 and a half?
Yeah.
I mean, what are you asking?
Okay, well, I'm asking, you guys.
There's the issues right there. We're playing against the number one defensive team in the NBA as far as the ratings and everything. And when you play against great defenses, you have to have guys that can attract multiple defenders on the floor at all time. Even I felt like we had great shots. We got some great shots tonight. We missed them. But when you play against the world champions, having a guy that averages 34, 6 and 8 and 8 and 9, whatever the hell, that's special. So we have to be better at finding ways to get to the blender, finding ways to get to the paint. We know they're a paint swarming team, so we have to be better with getting to the paint, not turn the ball over, and then shooting with confidence. But I feel like we got some really good looks.
When I went out to eat for an anniversary dinner last Wednesday, I didn't get a loaded baked potato. I get some cheese, get some bacon. I'm not a sour cream fan. That soundbite had sour cream, it had chives, it had butter, it had cheddar cheese, it had bacon. It had the full 9 yards, Monse Bolaños, because LeBron James was telling you everything that he wanted you to hear without actually saying it. He's throwing Luka Doncic under the bus. He then wants you to go and look at the box score and say, LeBron, you were 12 of 17. You had 27 points tonight. Could you do it by yourself? Well, apparently not, because Austin Reeves threw up a stinker last night. There was so much involved in that soundbite. He threw everything at you without saying anything.
Without saying anything. And told me, he mansplained everything to me, is what he did. I just was like, we know all of this, LeBron. It was almost like he should have just been like, yeah, don't we all miss Luka? But then it wasn't just that. It was making sure, like you pointed out, we knew what he did. And he made sure we also knew that nobody else helped him along the way. That he didn't have his star, but he did what he could and was alone by himself trying to be the best team in the NBA. That's what he told us. And it's just kind of like, we knew that you not having Luka was huge. We knew you were going to lose to the Lakers. But sometimes it's like the question comes, how can you guys get going without, we know Luka's not coming. We know that. How can you get going without him? Well, it was honestly like he was mansplaining to me.
It's a great way to spin it, though. And I think that's what perked up with Jason Stewart's ears as well. Right away, you thought something was funky with the way that LeBron was talking.
So LeBron did his podcast with Steve Nash this past week, and I'm sure he told Steve to ask him, like, how do you do it at 41? Like, are you surprised that you're playing at this level? You know, in other words, he was more than happy to take all of the credit for the Lakers getting beyond that first round where they weren't supposed to do it, and he played well. But the second they lose, well, the other guy's not here. I just think it's a jerk move, right?
It is, especially when you hear Anthony Edwards, as we talked about yesterday, in a game where he wins, being asked how he felt, and he was disappointed with himself. When he came out and played in an unexpected game and had a good game, was effective, he says, I was not myself. I wasn't good enough. And so it's just kind of was like, LeBron, this was your chance. You could have just said, like, I did not do enough. We'll get it better next time. There were so many different ways to go about it. But instead, you tell me I'm stupid to my face.
The words that he says, because what he is saying is he's glossing over and by glossing over, I'm saying he's highlighting. He's pointing out how much Luka averages. It sounds like he's praising Luka and being like, man, what could we do? But in reality, he's doing the exact opposite. Mm-hmm. He's saying, don't blame me for this. Blame our star who averages 35 points a game that can't be healthy, and that's the reason why the Mavericks ended up trading him out of Dallas. That's who you have to blame. So the numbers that I am saying aren't saying like, yeah, of course we can't compete with an NBA champion, but hey, if your superstar, the guy that you love Los Angeles, the guy that you want to take the crown from me or to carry the torch, if this is your guy, then why isn't he here? In the words of Iowa Sam, I've been waiting all week to play this.
It's true.
Is there something I'm missing on Covino and Rich here on Fox Sports Radio? She's Monse Bolaños. I'm Dan Beyer. What am I missing?
This goes back to Monday where Monse said something like a little more, and then I was like, oh, what about that song? And then I looked it up, and I've just been wanting to play it all week.
People have been waiting since Monday to the last segment at the end of the week. Sometimes you guys know songs. Monse dances to the song like she knows it, and I think it may just be the first time.
A little bit more? No.
Oh, okay.
No,
all right.
I do know the song.
Well, I looked at you, and you're like,
I don't know what this meant in relation to finally
all right,
playing
get on my
it.
back.
No, I want to be on your back. And LeBron's not going to Cleveland. Damn it, Dan.
I'm in the middle of the Iowa Caitlin Clark sandwich again on the YouTube feed.
Stuck in the middle with you.
Truly, I am the cream of this Iowa Oreo cookie right now, and they're double Iowa Caitlin Clark shirts. By the way, she plays for the Fever. Maybe you should get Fever jerseys.
Why are you hating?
I'm just.
Why are you hating?
Because
Mr. I like classic stuff.
I do.
Pero, but not this one. No,
well, no,
okay.
Sam was very against a Fever jersey.
Listen,
or shirt.
I have, in the last few years, I have expanded my jerseys and jerseys collection a lot. I think an Indiana Fever jersey, but maybe I'll have to go like a Leah Boston or something.
Doug Gottlieb was on Sam's case on why he would wear a WNBA or a women's basketball jersey. Like
I know
that.
we should dissect that one, shouldn't we?
I think we
why would he
dissected it enough.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right?
Hey, Coach.
Yeah, sure enough.
But it was the topic of conversation.
It was.
I was
I don't know
never
why,
a big jersey guy of my favorite players. There were certain jerseys that I wanted to get. Jersey's a little bit more acceptable, but now that's what I do with my son. He just gets the jerseys of different NFL players, and got him a JSN one from the Super Bowl.
Love
it's
it.
the way to
Love
go.
a jersey. Really do. But I love T-shirts. So it's like,
Those jerseys, very similar to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Isn't there a story of Iowa and the Pittsburgh Steelers having the same color pattern?
Yeah,
Sam?
when Hayden Fry took over in the late 70s, obviously the Steelers were prominent, winning Super Bowls. And he's like, I'm going to borrow Chuck Noll's look. Iowa's always had black and gold in their color scheme, but he went with the stripes. He kind of made it look like the Steelers jerseys, and then the helmets were more Iowa-based.
In the news that was broken yesterday in Pittsburgh, that Aaron Rodgers was going to visit with the Steelers, flew in last night and was going to meet with them today, maybe sign a contract this weekend. It allowed the NFL to say, okay, we're going to release our schedule next week. Now, the NFL really had to get it done before Memorial Day, but you would say to yourself, well, why does it matter? Why does it matter what the schedule is going to be? I really feel they needed to know if Aaron Rodgers was going to be available for Pittsburgh to be able to put them in primetime games.
Absolutely.
Nobody wants to Mason Rudolph. And there's always the likelihood, and we deal with it when players get injured, but you can't give Pittsburgh 4 or 5 primetime games, which they would get because of their popularity, because they did make the playoffs last year. They won the division, and they are a story with their new head coach, and Aaron Rodgers would be there. It is a team that would probably focus pretty highly on those or in those primetime games. There are multiple schedules that are sorted out. They ended up picking one when they go through the whole process, but I think they now had to decide the one with Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers playing in primetime as opposed to the one that was probably made without them in primetime. And now they'll go with this one. But since it seems like a foregone conclusion, they can announce the schedule release next week.
You're the one who said that they're just waiting for him. You said this, that the league was just waiting. And it's funny how quickly they announced it after knowing this, that they do have plans to release it next week.
It was today, right, that they announced that it's going to be released on Thursday. Now, they could have waited to the next week leading up to Memorial Day. What the NFL wants is on Tuesday or on Wednesday on, say, CBS or on Good Morning America and those morning shows, they're going to say, this is our game here. There's going to be a soft launch of a bunch of marquee national broadcast standalone games that we will see throughout the week next week, leading to the full release on Thursday. But we're going to know a lot of the schedule by midweek, at least the marquee games, because that's how the NFL likes to do it. And they had to do that either next week or the week after, and they were just, in my mind, waiting on Aaron Rodgers.
So they know. They know already if Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Steeler or not.
And I think that it's a done deal. Otherwise, get ready for some Mason Rudolph Monday Night Football for you. Maybe it's Will Howard. Maybe that's what it's going to. Who knows? It could be Drew Aller for all we know if Aaron Rodgers pulls a fast one on Pittsburgh. But that's the whole reason why they were waiting. It was no coincidence.
As long as it's one of the early weeks, people will tune in because we're all desperate for football at that point. Sure. So we won't care what's on Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night.
The Steelers are going to play a primetime game in week 2 to make sure, to get this one out of the bag to make sure he's not injured. All right, that's it for us. CNR's back next week.
Bye.